Yeah, I can see you live.
Yeah, we should be live again. Sorry about that, folks. It's just that we got broadband engineers working round here at the moment, so I am struggling with intermittent broadband. Apologies for that. His lordship will be back imminently. So let's just load up the chat and pop that back out and see whether or not we can carry on streaming. Steve Spencer Beanie's in, says dull. Yeah. Nothing I can do about it, Steve. At the end of the day, mate, broadband needs to be worked on. The engineers have got to work on it, mate. So apologies. Ross is asking, what did Fox do this time? Yeah, it's quiet at the moment because he's gone downstairs to make his mum a cup of tea so we can get a word in. We should be on there now. I can see Si on screen, so yeah, it looks like we're live.
We are indeed live. I checked on the old YouTubes.
Oh, you're good, you are, mate. So I've now got to go back into my channel on here and reload the new one. So we've got 2 streams tonight for the price of 1. Get in there. Pardon me. Is that the first one that is loaded? You can have a spider pig there, Si.
Spider pig. Spider pig.
All right, let's just try and get my channel going. All right. Okay, should that be the one? That's the one there. So yeah, what was we saying before we so rudely got cut off there? I can't remember now.
I honestly can't remember because we went straight into telling folks that we will be back hopefully momentarily. So yeah. I honestly can't remember what we were talking about.
I've got no idea. EC Idaho says, what happened? We've got broadband engineers working on the box just across the green there, mate. Upgrading this exchange and all the motherboard boxes and stuff around here. So
I'm back.
Hello, mate. So my broadband will probably increase in speed again, so there's perks, but it's intermittent. They're going to be switching it on and off over the next couple of days, so it's one of them things.
Increase in speed again, god damn it.
On and off over the
hello, no, shut up. Whoa.
Yeah, someone left his volume up. Do first.
I'll never turn the volume down. I just normally don't have it playing.
Steve's finished his Mobius models Batmobile 125th. Oh, good man, mate. Bung it in the gallery for Sunday, Steve. And I'll pimp it, mate.
I have, all the way on the other side of the room, my Bandai Batmobiles have arrived.
Oh, these are the ones you were saying to me about.
Yeah, I will get them in place to show them off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably Sunday or next Friday.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
Is that the 89 Batmobile and the incorrect one?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also got the Batmobile from the new film because I really enjoyed the new film.
The new film, The Batman, yeah? The one?
Batman, yeah.
I quite like the look of that. It's a bit like a sort of Challenger type muscly car thing with extra gumph.
And the actual film was really good.
Who's playing Batman now then? Excuse my naivety.
I believe his name is something Patterson. Let me check.
I've never heard of him, whoever he is.
No, he's a very young, Robert Pattinson. He's a very young actor.
Yeah.
I like the fact you've seen the film. Who plays the main character? I can't remember.
Well, I remembered the surname, but I'm not very good with names. Like, as far as I know, I just know you as Butt Wipe. You know?
Clunge Bucket.
And, well, there you go. You're terrible at names. You know me as Clunge Bucket.
Why on earth did I know an insult aimed at Fox was coming?
Because it was too obvious, wasn't
it? Because the word day was in the day.
Yeah.
Oh, are you feeling hard done by again?
I never feel hard.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It didn't have there was no, the theme. So it was like a very dystopian Batman, if you will. I particularly enjoyed the soundtrack. The main song used throughout the film was a Nirvana track, which was
nice,
awesome. I was still amazed that Colin Farrell played Penguin or Oswald.
Oswald Cobblepot. Yeah.
What would I know? What would I know Colin Farrell from? I can't think of his face.
Daredevil. He's the Irish actor that was in Phone Booth.
Yes.
It's been a long time since I saw Phone Booth.
He was also in Bruges, Total Recall remake.
Who did he play in Bruges? Was he the main character?
He was the lead character, yeah.
God, it's been a long time since I've seen that as well.
Dark-haired Irish.
He was in The Gentleman, if you've seen that.
Yeah.
That's a very good film.
I'll have to look him up.
He's a good actor. I do like
What's his
Colin
name?
Farrell.
What's his name? Colin Farrell. Let me have a look.
Colin
I'll know him as
Farrell.
soon as I see him.
You'll know him as soon as you see him. Played Bullseye, didn't he, in Daredevil? Is it Bullseye?
We won't get copyright if I share screen of an actor's
that's all right. I've seen him. I know him. I've got him. Yeah.
Right. So you know what he looks like now.
Yes.
But look up. Just do a quick Google for Colin Farrell Penguin makeup, and you'll be like, huh?
I don't think you'll get it for copyright showing that because you're not actually showing the movie, are you?
No, you don't get hit with things like that.
If he's doing a Google foo, like you cannot tell it's Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
The makeup was crazy.
He's a very versatile actor, isn't he? That guy, I do like him.
But yeah, very, very good film. Well worth a watch if you enjoy.
Yeah, you wouldn't know that was him.
No.
I will keep an eye out for that because my boy's a huge Batman fan.
There might be a copy available through certain means that I'm sure you're aware of, Colin.
Yeah, that would be an ecumenical matter.
Somebody's when I've done a picture search for Colin Farrell Penguin, right? It's got lots of pictures of him, then it's got a picture of the actor whose name I can't remember, who looks uncannily similar to the poor bugger.
He was in SG. It was me as a penguin.
He was in SG1 a few times, and he was in like Next Gen a few times. He played somebody who was a bit child. I can't remember who he is. I have to look him up now.
Oh yeah.
Why is it not telling me? Why can't I click on it? It's remarking on the fact that he looks a bit like the Penguin, but it's poor lad. It's just his face. I can hear the actor's voice in my head now, the one that looks like the Penguin.
Yeah. EC Idaho says, pretty good movie, The Batman. Yeah, I'm going to have to look out for that then. I do like a bit of Batman.
How does it compare to the best Batman film?
Which in your mind is?
89. It's the only Batman film.
Okay, so for a start, no, the Christopher Nolan trilogy was brilliant.
No, they don't exist.
Well,
silly mouth face.
Oh, what the Dark Knight series? Yeah, I think that was brilliant.
No,
I do like them.
No.
All right, Colin.
Yeah.
Colin, brace yourself. It's about to get serious.
Yeah.
Cisco is the worst Star Trek captain.
Oh, you cheaped! Oh, ban him, Colin.
I've got another one for you, Si.
Yeah.
Airwolf or Blue Thunder?
Oh, Airwolf all the way.
Oh no!
Yeah, backfired, didn't it, Cole?
But only because
Cy Reynolds will only go so far. You know, you can't go. Blue Thunder's so bad that you won't even take a fall for it.
I love that the soundtrack. Like, you know, I'm singing it in my head. Obviously, I can't sing it out loud. But yeah,
I read the thing once. I came across a chap who recorded a cover version of the Airwolf theme tune.
Yeah.
And it was on YouTube, and it was very, very good. It was basically pitch perfect.
Yeah.
And I was reading the description. He said, I've actually got this up monetized. And he said, the reason I've got this up monetized is because I actually tracked down the guy that composed it.
Oh, right, yeah.
This is going back about 7 or 8 years. He said, I found out the guy that composed it, the guy that wrote it, and he's now in Australia writing operas. And I emailed him and said, I want to do a cover version of the Airwolf theme. And the guy was like, I don't care, just do it. Do what you want. It's fine.
Man.
Don't worry about it. Just do it. So he said, so I've done it and I monetized it. There you go.
I am one of the best versions of the Airwolf theme I've ever heard was actually done on floppy disks.
Oh, yeah.
But because of the nature of the Aerial theme, it just worked. It was really good.
Like that kind of like sharp buzzy sound.
Yeah.
I can hear it in my head.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. It's one of the best theme tunes ever written.
Retro says that was Richard Kind, and you're also not properly in the chat anymore. Oh,
who is not in the chat?
Apparently.
Me?
Apparently.
Am I not in the chat? I've got the chat in front of me.
Yeah, I don't know what he means. Perhaps he can't at you.
So.
Yeah, because it's not my channel on my stream. After about 5 or 10 minutes, me and Simon, if we're not in chat, it will time us out, and you can't at us. If you do it, it won't put an orange box on your end, but we will see it. I think still.
Yeah.
I think it won't pop up with the name for you to auto complete, but you can still type in at whatever, and it'll pop up at my end orange.
So,
it's just.
Paul D. Tomato thinks the Batman was okay. He didn't like how Edward Nygma was done, i.e. the Riddler.
Oh,
Batman himself was okay, but like most of the movies, the character is lacking certain aspects.
See, Paul Di Tommaso says all the right things about Nolan's Batman. He says, Nolan's Batman kind of sucked. The cowl was crap, 10 points. The harsh, raspy voice as Batman was crap, 10 points. He only learned one form of martial arts, which was crap, 10 points. I hated the mask. The hole for the mouth was too small. It was like just slightly bigger than his mouth, and it looked like dumb. Like a gimp suit without the zip. It was horrible. I once saw.
Glad it didn't get you, Fox.
I once saw a spoof video. I can't remember who the guy was, but this guy on YouTube, he did a fantastic spoof. He did a fantastic Joker, and he did a great Batman. And he did a spoof of it, and it's basically the interview scene with Batman and Joker in the police interview room.
Oh, right, yeah.
And Batman's there, and he goes, and Joker's like, what? And Batman goes, I don't understand what you're saying. He's like, I really don't. I have no idea what you're at. I want to answer you, but you're not using actual words. What are you trying? And Batman's getting more and more angry. And at one point, he just punches the Joker, and he's like, "Look, you're using. I'm getting the fists. I'm just not getting the word. Use words in your sentence." It's so funny. I can't remember what it was called, but I recommend people look it up.
To be fair, that does actually sound quite funny.
Look, I'm getting fists. I'm just not getting words. Work with me here. I want to answer your question. I just don't. Oh, it was so good because he did a really good Joker impression. What's the actor's name?
Heath Ledger.
Yeah, he did a really good Heath Ledger.
Yeah. The Bobbin says the Nolan films were excellent. I will hear no more of your nonsense. There you go.
Here's some nonsense. They were not excellent. If they'd had an actor you could understand who speaking and a not silly face mask, they would have been all right. And if the Tumbler hadn't looked like the Tumbler, but instead looked like the 1989 Batman meal,
I am making a declaration now. Saying that the Nolan Batman films weren't any good is like saying you're a guru of model making. It's just not factual.
How did you manage to twist that into an insult? I am impressed with that.
I must have had a wiring issue in my earpiece, then I just went all quiet.
Absolutely. What? Mark's got a question for fellow modelers who use resin as in finished items. He's just seen a video where a chap primed the resin with a metal primer. Is this correct? Or would a normal type of primer work? I primed mine with UMP, mate.
Yeah, any primer would be fine.
Yeah. The main thing with resin is make sure if it's 3D printer resin, or in fact any resin, make sure it's properly washed.
Yes.
Like dishwashing, washing up liquid and
if it's 3D
soap and water.
Printer resin, follow all of the cleaning instructions for 3D printed resin. I know that has its own process.
Absolutely.
If it's like Forge Weld or RTLW or
if it's a resin model that you bought from somewhere,
make sure just give it a scrub with a toothbrush with some dish soap and lukewarm water. Do not use boiling hot water.
You don't actually have to use warm water either. Just water, slightly warm.
I tend to use lukewarm water just so it's not like hideous after 10 minutes on your hands.
I'm so delicate that I use the warm water just because it's really uncomfortable to be hand in cold water.
Oh, you fart.
Yeah, you put your hand in a bowl of cold water for like an hour and a half. It's not right.
You are such a girl.
I think Paul Di Tommaso has taken it to whole new levels.
Despite the fact that's exactly what Cy Reynolds just said before I said it, but I just put it in a different way.
Paul Di Tommaso has gone to a new level, and you've outdone me, Paul. So he says the Bane character in Nolan's Batman, utter garbage.
Yep.
Arnold's Mr. Freeze was better.
Yeah,
no,
I agree with that.
No.
I agree with that because
the problem is, whenever I think of that goddamn Batman film, all I can see is Batman with nipples.
Yeah, I know that's pretty bad.
That was so wrong, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that's the point with Bane. Like, I watched the film twice, and I'm like, I still had no idea who Bane was, why he didn't like Batman, or any of the words that came out of his mouth.
That was.
Because he'd be like.
So Tom Hardy that was. It was
because
like,
it'd be like Batman, and he'd be like, burn.
Mate,
what?
He talks like that without the mask.
I know, but it's like I thought, and this is after all the hoo-ha when they first did like the pre-release releases for people to watch, and they all said we don't know what Bane's, and they tweaked it so you could hear him better. Yeah. And I'm like, come on. If we've had people like James Earl Jones doing Darth Vader and other things where we can tell them, say, you can do some bloke in a mask and he's not going to talk, oh God, those films are so bad. And the other thing is, of course, I can't stand Hans Zimmer. I can't stand his music. It bores me.
Really?
It's featureless wallpaper. I can't stand it.
Go away.
No. Danny Elfman is a million times the composer that Hans Zimmer is. Come on now.
You cannot say that the new soundtrack for Dune is not.
I've not heard that. I've not heard that.
The soundtrack for that entire movie is the best film that's been made.
That's up there with me saying Chicken and Mushroom was bad and not having any then.
That to me is the equivalent of saying that Bear McCreary is a crap artist.
I don't know who that is.
He wrote the score for Battlestar Galactica.
Which Battlestar Galactica? The original?
2004.
Oh, okay. It was all right. It wasn't the best thing. It was atmospheric, but it was not exactly something you can listen to.
I love that soundtrack. So the different strokes, different people, I guess. But...
No, I mean it's a good soundtrack. It's not It's like not something I put on my music listening list while I'm working, for example, because it's not really tuneful. Like I'll listen to, I don't know, the Skyrim soundtrack or Jurassic Park or something like that, where it's got lots of themes and hooks and it's all listenable.
Don't forget those, Si. Boxes from that cardigan-wearing older generation.
Older generation? What?
You know.
I'm not the oldest person here, I'll have you know, young lady.
I know.
Well,
I just wanted to see how long it was.
According to Carl.
Yeah, size 92 now.
Yep, I'm proud.
That's true. Getting older every day. If you want to be a record breaker.
EC Idaho has now said that June was kind of boring. Well, okay, we'll disagree.
Yeah, but is he talking about the original June movie or the modern June movie?
I said the original June. That's all right.
The original June movie was just disaster.
Was that the one with Sting?
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember watching it a couple of times when I was much younger, and I'm sitting there going, I don't understand any of this.
That's up there with Travolta's Scientology film, isn't it? You know,
it was so bad. But yes, Denis Villeneuve's Dune is, in my opinion, it's the best film of the last 20 years.
I do need to watch that at some point.
I've not seen it, Si, to be honest with you, mate.
It's a cinematic masterpiece. It really
It's not been out long, has it?
No.
No.
But then
on the other hand, of course, there's a trailer out now for the next Avatar film, which I have no intention of ever watching. Absolute garbage.
That's fair. I mean, I'm obsessed with the Dune world because it is. I've read all of the books.
Yeah, you've read 10 books.
The extended universe and everything.
Yeah,
I am obsessed.
Nerd.
Yeah, but dare I say it, that's good nerdularity, isn't it?
Oh no, it is good. It's good nerd. He gets his nerd card for that.
Well, yeah, it's better than watching every episode of The Bill that was ever produced. Put it that way, Cole.
That's not nerdy. That's just correct.
Yeah,
I mean, I will admit, because I've watched the original Dune a few times over the years, and it was a terrible film, but I did find it interesting, the world it was creating in the film. I didn't really understand what was going on, but I did find it kind of interesting a little bit. But I never really. The film was so bad that I never really,
The problem with the original David Lynch Dune is...
It's David Lynch, so that takes everything you need to know.
Well, it didn't convey the... So, the best way in modern terms that you can really describe Dune is it's on the same kind of scale with multiple houses and whatnot as Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I think...
It's interplanetary Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
The original film just didn't convey that.
Yeah, the David Lynch film was kind of made 30 years too early because it wasn't something they could really... It wasn't something you... I mean, I know a little bit about the whole Dune thing, and it's not... Like you say, it's like Game of Thrones. You couldn't do a single Game of Thrones movie, and it just wouldn't work.
No.
So I kind of always known that, so I've always given it like a bit of a leeway and thought, well, it looks like an interesting universe. I just didn't like the film, the David Lynch film, because it was terrible.
Yeah.
We shall call him Muad'Dib.
But yeah, so it was...
Muad'Dib.
It managed...
It's the way he says it, Muad'Dib.
It managed to convey what is... Or what could potentially be quite a difficult story to comprehend from like a 2-hour film, but it conveyed it in a manner that was very easy to understand.
At some point, does somebody say Muad'Dib and overemphasize the B on the end of it?
No, they don't say Muad'Dib.
Oh, that's bad. Don't want to watch it now then. Muad'Dib. Does it have that? The one bit I do remember about the David Lynch one was that shield effect looked fantastic when they had when Paul was there and he was like trying to be assassinated and he had the shield. He was doing some training or something. I can't really remember now. And he had that kind of blocky shield around him.
With Patrick Stewart.
I don't remember. It was like 20 years ago.
No,
and every time someone tried to pierce the shield, you got this like square block around his arm.
Yeah, that was with Sir Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
So they have
that looked mint.
They have recreated that scene in the new film.
Yeah.
And it's very similar in terms of visual effects, but obviously it looks like it was done in the modern day.
Yeah, for some reason I always conflate that scene in the original Dune movie with the scene in the terrible Flash Gordon movie where he has to stick his hand in the log and it'll either bite him, he'll die, or he won't. And there's some rite of passage.
One film that drives me bloody potty.
It's terrible.
Oh, it is absolute biblical gash.
I mean, I saw it when I was a little kid, so to me it was dead exciting. But now, as I got older, I'm like, wow, that really was garbage, wasn't it?
I've never actually seen it.
Oh, sorry.
You have. Oh,
it's one of those films you can't unwatch once you've seen it.
Yeah.
Imagine Battlefield Earth. Imagine Battlefield Earth, but a quarter as long and 100% more camp.
With 100% more Brian Blessed.
Yeah, I mean, it's got Brian Blessed in it. That tells you everything you need to know about it.
It's not making me want to watch it. It's not making me want to watch it.
Prepare War Rocket Ajax.
Yeah, it's the really badly animated wings on the flying men, isn't it? It's like
it's the terrible Queen soundtrack as well. Which and when I was a younger lad and I used to like Queen, so I had the soundtrack and I was like, wow, they've actually got bits from the film in it. But yeah, looking back on it now, it's a terrible soundtrack.
Oh yeah,
it was one of my first introductions to synthesizers, though, that soundtrack.
Apparently, there was a rumour they was going to do a remake of it, and it's like, can they remake a film that bad even worse? Probably. Well,
it's an old franchise anyway, isn't it? So they could probably redo Flash Gordon and not make it complete camp garbage.
Yeah, it was really bad. Si, honestly, mate, if you want to sit there and have a bit of a rib tickler with your missus, mate, you got to bung that bad boy on.
You need to have watched Flash Gordon at least once.
I'll consider it. It's stirred up somewhat of a conversation in chat.
Yeah, see Dan Kramer.
Dan Kramer has said, blasphemy, Flash will save every one of us.
All I can hear is the opening line from the film where Ming the Merciless is like, Clytus, I'm bored. What plaything have you got for me today?
I'm assuming this is something to do with Flash because
an obscure
Retro
planet
Rabbit
in the something or
Studios
other sector.
I said, oh no, my fetons are itching.
Yeah.
An
I
obscure
don't know what
planet.
fetons are. But
The inhabitants refer to it as the planet Earth. Clytus, I'm bored. What
the
plaything
bobbin
have you got for
says,
me
but
today?
he only has 14 hours.
Save the Earth!
Yeah.
Can we do it? I don't know, but we'll try, says Dr. Zarkov.
Yeah.
Oh, because it had, what's his name? The Fiddler on the Roof was Dr. Zarkov, didn't it? I always forget
Yeah.
him. What was his name? Top off, pop off, something.
Something. Yeah.
Famous actor. It also had, what's his face as Ming the Merciless.
Yeah.
Other actor that was in Skyrim and also in Judge Dredd and in a million other films. What was his name?
I can't remember.
Oh, Cy Reynolds, you'll know this. The Judge Dredd movie with.
I can't even remember the guy that played Flash Gordon now.
No, I was going to say Dale Arnold then, but I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Fox?
The guy that played Ming the Merciless was the guy that played the elderly judge in Judge Dredd, the one with Sylvester Stallone. He also played one of the main characters in the Skyrim game.
Yeah, that's
Famous actor.
another
Died a couple of years ago.
classically bad film in it as well. Judge
Died a
Dredd.
couple of- I quite liked it actually.
Really? Oh
I
no.
think if they hadn't gone a bit silly about it,
Yeah.
it kind of would. Because I think Stallone looked all right as Judge Dredd. They got the lawmaker bite just right.
Yes.
They got it just right. I think Stallone looked like a better Judge Dredd than the recent film. I say looked. I didn't say play. I just say he looked more the part. But
yeah.
I did like. Obviously, the recent film was fantastic.
I much prefer Dredd. I think Judge Dredd is.
If they got rid of the campy silliness.
If you go into watching Judge Dredd, it's in a very similar realm of film as Arnie's Total Recall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can watch both of those films and get great enjoyment out of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you appreciate them for what they are.
Standalone,
Yeah. And they're not like storytelling masterpieces.
No.
You know.
I mean, I suppose Dredd will be hard to pin down because if you're doing a true Judge Dredd movie, it's not. You can't just do a dark, gritty film, and you can't just do a silly comedy because it's kind of like Borderlands. It's half and half.
Yeah.
You've got to have a bit of dark grit, and dystopia, but also a bit of silliness. Cause
It's getting the right mix, isn't it, with them sort of films, and that's where
Yeah.
I think they've all struggled, didn't they?
Well, I think the Stallone film was just too much silliness. But like I say, he looked really good. I think he did a good Dredd, actually. He would have made, if it was a serious film, he would have made a good Just Dredd. But it was that kind of action hero type era, so it was kind of doomed from the start. I like the ABC robot. The Lawmaker bike looked fantastic.
Yeah.
The outfits looked great. But that was all silly and no grit. But then the more modern film, Dredd, that was all grit and no slight weird and no wackiness.
Yeah.
So it was like the complete opposite. It worked, but it was like it still lacked something. It lacked that. It lacked that little bit of British. Because the thing is, Judge Dredd 2000 AD. It's a bit like Orcs in Warhammer. It's that kind of.
Yeah, it's a difficult one to get right on film, innit?
Yeah, it's like Warhammer Orcs. They're stupid, but they're grimdark and serious. But they're also dumb, and that's a bit like Judge Dredd. It's got to be serious, but
yeah.
I don't know. I really enjoyed Dredd. I wish they'd make a second. There were rumours that they were, because they couldn't get the funding for a second film. They had an offer of a TV series, but that can. Which makes
you never. It depends who's got the rights to the franchise now, I suppose. I don't know who had the rights to that franchise, actually. Who does have the rights to the franchise?
Yeah, and I suppose the world being on fire as well kind of put a lot of things on the back burner, didn't it?
This was ex-made ages ago.
What?
The series.
What was it?
Yeah, sadly.
I mean, if it was an MGM property, then it'd be like, well, Amazon owns that now. We could get a series of it, but it's not, is it?
Well, it might be eventually, but who knows?
But I mean, The thing is, I think if the original Stallone film had been done as more seriously and not as a silly 1990s action hero type movie.
Yeah,
but it was deep in that era of Stallone and Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, it was the
action
rivalry,
hero,
wasn't it, between
them both?
Yeah,
and it was that kind of wacky 90s last action hero, all that kind of. I think.
Yeah.
If it had the same treatment that, say, Michael Keaton's Batman had, which was darker, I think Stallone would have made a good Judge Dredd. It's just he didn't.
He was pretty much comic book accurate, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's just the film around him. They had the comedy sidekick and stuff.
Yeah, the story just was a bit lacking, wasn't it? Yeah. Retro Rabbit's got a good one. He says, "Where's my sequel to District 9?"
Oh yeah.
That would be a good sequel, actually.
Was really good.
Really was a good film, wasn't it? Yeah.
District 9.
The good news for fans of Dredd.
Yeah.
And thus Carl Urban, just go and watch The Boys. You'll have a third season in like a month.
Oh, yeah, right. I do need to watch that, and it's on my list. I've not watched it.
He's such a talented actor.
Yeah, you've mentioned that before, haven't you? The Boys.
Yeah, I watched the trailer. I was a good boy, and I did watch the trailer.
And.
Yeah, it's on my list of series to watch.
Oh, you're good.
It's in the list. Don't worry.
Awesome.
It's on. Is it Amazon or Disney? Amazon.
Amazon. I'm on season 3 of DS.
As long as it's free on Amazon Prime, I'll watch it.
It is completely free as long as you have Amazon Prime.
Good lad. What was I going to say? Yeah, I think Stallone would have been He was a good Dredd. It's just the film around him was terrible, and it's a shame because he could have had a franchise out of that if they'd done it properly, and it would have been a little bit more grim.
Do you think if Stallone was in today's era of films and he played Judge Dredd instead of Carl Urban and brought his Stalloneisms to it, that it would have made Dredd a better film?
It would have made Dredd a different film. If you imagine, if we sort of transport Sylvester Stallone through time so he's not like in his 70s.
Yeah.
And we make him, if we make him the age now that he was when he made the Judge Dredd movie.
Yeah, age isn't on his side now, is it?
Bless him. And if he'd done that film that Carl Urban did, but let's say put him at the age of 40 or 50 or something.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If
we transposed
him from the 90s and transposed him into being one of the biggest actors in this modern day,
it would have been interesting because it wasn't written like a 90s action flick, so he wouldn't have had the little silly one-liners and had that kind of like 1990s action hero bravado. He would have been a more serious character. And I get the feeling that if you give Stallone... I mean, I'm no big action hero type film fan, but I think if you gave Stallone a proper decent script, he could probably do a pretty good job. He can
do... character, can't he? At the end of the day, it's just he's been typecast as the Rambo-esque all action hero, and
he's been given that kind of role, and he's just choose the scenery with it. There's nothing
wrong with that. It's an easy cash cow for him, isn't it?
But I don't know if it would have been better than Carl Urban's film if you swapped him out with Stallone, but I think it would have been different. I think it would have been equally as good, perhaps.
I'm going to jump in just to say that EC Idaho is off to the store. See you later, dude.
See you later, EC. Take care, buddy.
But also, our wonderful Scottish kitten has joined us, i.e. Panzer.
Hello, Pens. How you doing, mate?
Scottish kitten?
Well, he's Panzer Cat, isn't he?
Panzer Cat.
Why Scottish?
Because he's from Scotland.
Is he? Oh, of course he is, yeah. Don't know why I think that.
Dingus. I
know. I'm special.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Don't be like Fox, folks.
Also, for any Orc fans that read, you should definitely either read or listen to the Gazgol book that was recently released by Black Library, because it's really cool. It really fleshes out Orc lore and stuff. Also, for any Orc fans out there, if you go and find the YouTube channel Baldermort's Guide to Warhammer, Baldermort, he's got a series of video stories. I think he's written them himself, called Cronan de Cunnin, which is about a boss called Cronan, Orc boss, who over the course of the story starts to learn how to use cunning and starts to learn how to use thinking and cogitating That sounds dangerous for an orc.
To beat the Humies, and it gives him an edge and makes him like a mega boss. So I do reckon, because he's the Voldemort guy, he's got a most fantastic voice anyway.
What's the channel called?
I think it's Voldemort, Baldermort, Baldermort.
Oh yeah, I found it. Voldemort's Guide to Warhammer.
Just look up Cronin da Cunning. He's got about 6 or 7 episodes. He's not got all of them yet. But he decides that the secret to winning fights is to use cunning, and the secret to cunning is to use thinking, and to thinking you need a thinking grot. You need to use some thinking. So you need to get these grots and rip them apart and torture them, and the screams allow you to think. Think more harder.
I found it.
Yeah. Cronin da Cunning.
It definitely self-written, 100%.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it in the lore.
It is really good though. It's really funny as well in places.
Oh, he does have a very cool voice.
Isn't he? He's really good. A lot of his videos just like reading out basically codex entries.
This might have to take place of SGU for a few nights.
Yep. Cronin da Cunning.
But yeah, I hate you now because I literally, in the course of the last 3 weeks, I have been unable to sleep if I'm not drifting off to Skeptic's Guide to the Universe.
yes.
So, yeah.
Thank you. I've actually started watching the live streams.
Yeah.
Because I've never watched like you say, the Friday community live stream is a different one. And I've only watched the first few. Infuriatingly, they put all the videos in the playlist the wrong way around. Yeah. So it starts with the most recent. It's like, oh no. But I've been going through and I got...
email them. They might fix it.
Nah, and I got to the third one, and it's the one where Jay's there and his son's kind of coming in the room saying, "You've got to come downstairs for your dinner." And his son sort of said, "Dad, you've got to come downstairs." You're like, "Go away, go away."
But yeah, they're really good. And the worst thing about the podcast is I always put it on like as I'm getting sleepy.
Yeah.
And that kind of 1.5 to 2 second delay before you hear the first like boom of the intro. I'm like, crap, is it playing? And then I almost always jump a little bit when
because it sounds like the music's stuck, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Diddle-it. Have you gone back to the beginning, or are you starting just recent one?
So I'm skipping about. I've listened to a fair amount of episodes from when the Velociraptors invaded.
Yeah.
Because I just thought their perspective on it would be really interesting, especially given obviously quite a lot of them work within the sector.
Yeah, well, yeah, like Steve Novella's a neurologist.
Exactly. And then I quite often I just scroll through the list, like close my eyes, scroll up, scroll down, and then stop, and then just play wherever my finger's hovering over.
Well, I'll tell you what my routine is like, because I listened from the start over the last 3 or 4 years. I listened all the way from the start, and I caught up about 6 months ago.
Yeah.
So then I just went back to the start again. And what I do now is basically, when I'm having a wash in the morning, so I'm having a wash and brushing my teeth and stuff, or when I'm brushing my teeth at night, because I'll go to bed and I'll spend 20 minutes sorting my teeth out and stuff, getting ready for bed. Or when I'm doing the washing up, because I leave the washing up. I'm one of those people that leaves the washing up for like 3 days, and then it piles up, and then I do it all in one go. So that's a good hour. So I just have it playing then. Or when I'm if I'm doing some building work and I'm not doing anything else, or playing a simple game that I don't have to pay attention to, I can have it play in the background. So I'm working my way through. I do recommend going from the start though, because it's just there's some awesome episodes, some awesome interviews.
It's just such a time investment. Now they're on they're past like 750 now. It's such
they're on 800 and something or other.
Yeah, but it's such a significant time investment with like an hour and 45 to 2 hours per episode.
Oh god, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. I mean, I've got mine on my iPad, and I've just got it on the iPod, the Apple podcast thing, and I've just got. I don't think I've downloaded them all. It just streams them, so I just start at episode 1 and just let them play through one after the other.
I think it appeals to me to some of the large scientific journals throughout the years that have been published.
Yeah,
that I've read and really enjoyed and was fascinated by. I have gone back and listened to specific episodes around the release of those journals just to get their input as well.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Jeff has joined us, the wonderful Candygram from Mongo.
Hello there, Jeff. How you
Jeff.
doing, buddy? The Carl Sagan of the community is with us.
Hello, Jeffrey.
And then Dorkosaurus reminds us all that Demolition Man was an awesome film.
Was good. Simon Phoenix. Yeah.
Again, that is in the category, the same category as Stallone's Judge Dredd and
that kind of 90s.
Total Recall. Like, absolute insane, just mindless.
He doesn't know how to use the
seashells.
Yeah, it's just like 90 minutes of just
madness, isn't it?
I had to laugh the other day because I've been playing Cyberpunk for about 2 months now, just farting about here and there. And I only just noticed, I think yesterday, you get like you get an apartment when you start the game.
Yeah.
I was in my apartment the other day and I thought I wanted to change my beard or something, my facial hair. And I've not really used it, so I've not really been in there. So I went in and looked in the mirror to change my facial hair, and I just suddenly realised that
Hi, Fox.
Sweet like Fox.
And I just suddenly realised that I've dropped out of chat. But
Edward Lennis's Taco Bell.
Yeah, Dorkosaurus. Hi, William. Colin is working on the Orc Truck kit from Games Workshop.
There you go, mate. One of them. And I shall be doing it in that colour scheme.
So, my partner used my PC last, and I've just loaded up YouTube to find the channel that Fox just recommended, the Bold and What's Guide to Warhammer.
Uh-huh.
And I've just gone to my homepage and realised that I was logged into my partner's YouTube, and at the top of her Facebook feed is I made a phone case out of beans and resin, as in baked beans. What the hell does she watch on YouTube?
Oh God, don't even ask.
Like,
that's worrisome, isn't it? It's like
Anyway,
I know she's really into. She wants to get into like resin crafting with resin.
Mm-hmm.
She's desperate for when we eventually get a property. She really wants to make like a table out of resin and stabilized wood.
Right.
So it's quite possibly just like a resin crafting channel. But why on earth would you make a phone case with baked beans and resin? I would never know.
I've seen people make furniture out of like Weetabix and resin. And like shredders and stuff.
I've seen driftwood and resin where it looks like ocean water going through the middle of the table, and some of it's really stunning work.
She's seen one that she really wants to try and imitate, but she'll start on like small scale first, and then eventually work up to like a coffee table.
You need to show her the Craftsman channel because he's done a few things with resin making jewellery. Resin and
she wants to. There's a tabletop game called X-Wing.
Yeah.
Which is what it sounds like. It's a Star Wars tabletop game set in
aware
space. Of this. So she's going to start off by just trying to make a diorama with miniatures from X-Wing, but she wants to work up to making a dining table.
Yeah.
With stabilized oak.
Nice.
With like a trough in the middle, and she wants to make the Death Star trench run with the Bandai miniatures set in resin at the dining table, which
nice.
If she can pull it off will be sick.
That will be epic. Fair play to her.
Back in the day when I was doing the D'Agostini Millennium Falcon, and I was planned on doing the whole thing originally, my plan was that I would somehow.
What issue did you get to on that again, Fox?
I can't count that high. It was beyond human numbers, beyond human knowledge.
5 3/4, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like
that. But my plan was that I'd get the whole thing done, and then I would basically save up and have a glass case made of like reinforced glass or whatever it is that would double as a coffee table.
Yeah.
And what I would do is I would build like a big chunk of like asteroid inside that would hide them, because it comes with a wall mount. And what I was going to do was put the wall mount on a piece of wood, so it's more like a stand. and then build up around that with foam to make an asteroid. So it looks like the Falcon's just skimming past an asteroid.
Yeah.
And it would have been like in a massive coffee table. You have to build it of like, reinforced glass or whatever.
I have seen a table similar to that. It was actually a tested video. Sadly, It was a tested video with Norm. But he went to a company that made specialist furniture, and they've made up a coffee table out of, I believe it was the Bandai Perfect Grade Falcon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they mimicked that scene in A New Hope, where they're flying through the asteroid field and they end up in the asteroid that is not just an asteroid.
That'll be Empire Strikes Back then.
Was it Empire?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which means they made the coffee table with the wrong Falcon, which all the nerds will now be outraged about.
Okay.
Because that was the New Hope Falcon, the Perfect Grade.
But it was very cool.
I demand a refund.
But you're not getting a refund. You didn't pay for it.
They'd be like, "Look, we made this table for you. It's the wrong Falcon. Sorry, money back." You got to take your geekiness seriously.
Absolutely, that's a lot of nerdism have gone into that.
As I was saying before I got booted out of the stream by StreamYard, I noticed in my cyberpunk apartment that if you go into the toilet, next to the toilet is a little shelf with 3 seashells on it.
Oh, there ain't.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's quite
brilliant.
cool. Because I looked down and was like, I never noticed that before. That's the best thing ever. Can I just say, by the way, I now have a cat.
What?
In Cyberpunk.
Oh, in Cyberpunk, I was going to say.
In Cyberpunk, and it's not hatched yet, but I do have an iguana egg as well.
Oh, you're good.
Wait, sorry.
Why?
Cats don't hatch.
No, I've got a cat, but I've also got an iguana egg, which I'm slowly hatching. It's not hatched yet.
Okay.
My argument would be, why?
Because you can.
I suppose that's good enough.
It's this thing that at the start of the game, most people miss it, but there is a way to go back to that part of the map and get it. Because in the game, there aren't really any animals anymore. Real animals don't really exist anymore. They're incredibly rare. So you go into this apartment, there's a real life. One of the early missions involves like a real life iguana.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's very Blade Runner in. There's no real wildlife. There's no birds in the game or animals. You never see any animals. You see the occasional like cockroaches and stuff,
yeah.
But you never really see very many animals. But there's at one point, if you take a random turn down one corridor near your apartment for no reason whatsoever, you see a little thing in a bin, a little quest marker.
Yeah.
And it's a little note that says, please feed Tech Hat. Misspelled Tech Hat. And it just says, please put some food down for the cat and just go, pss, 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 he'll come running. Please look after the cat. So then you have to find some cat food. But it's not a marked quest. It just says, find some cat food and put it down and say, piss, 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 and he'll come. And then when you're out in the game world, there's literally 2 places that you can find cat food. And it doesn't tell you that. You find it and you pick up so much food and stuff for your character. Yeah. Most people would pick it up and just destroy it. There's only two instances of cat food in the entire game, and I managed to find one. And then you put the food out, and then the cat comes and you get to have the cat then, you see.
Okay. So Jeff has finally found somewhere that sells Coleman's mustard.
Ooh, jolly good. It is the best mustard.
So he bought a jar. He was glad that he knew only to use a small amount. It pretty much took his head off.
Absolutely.
If you're used to American or French mustard,
yeah.
ease yourself
I tend to get the mustard powder and make my own so that it's proper steam coming out of under your eyelids and your ears. It's proper,
and your arsehole.
Absolutely. Your lips seem to roll up over the top of your face, you know. It's like,
And it doesn't matter how old you are, right? Somehow you manage to, no matter how old you are and how many times you've done it, every time you get Coleman's English mustard and you put some on whatever you're making and you get some on a knife and you do that, it's impossible not to forget and lick the knife.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes you'll be spreading something and you'll just, before you put the knife in the wash, you'll like lick the chocolate paste, like Nutella or whatever off the knife before you put it in the wash.
That is the equivalent of saying to someone, try and eat a donut without licking your lips.
It's not going to happen, is it?
And the number of times I've like made Mama Fox a sandwich or something, put mustard on and licked the knife and gone, oh, I forgot. But I tell you what, she's 5 foot nothing. She's 83. She likes a lot of mustard on her sandwiches. Jesus Christ. Old people and English mustard. What? Whew. She likes Sir Coleman's English mustard as Mama Fox.
Absolutely, you got it, mate.
Yeah, you will get, Jeff, you will get used to it. And as time goes by, you'll put more on. But you can put it on everything.
Yeah.
It's nice on hot food, especially things like sausages and stuff. Ooh.
So
now here's a question.
It's also very good if you've got toothache.
What do you do? Or put it on your gum?
Oh, put a bit on your gum, mate. Yeah, and you're more
Ooh, never
worried
thought of
about the warm mustard, and it takes your mind off the toothache.
Yeah, just rub it around your entire palate, you know.
Yeah, just give it a rub around the old tooth, mate, and yeah, one away. I know this by experience.
Yeah, it did sound like you were talking from experience.
Yeah,
Absolutely, mate.
it's also very nice on hot dogs. It's the best mustard for hot dogs, and it's great on cold sandwiches. If it's a meat-based sandwich, any kind of meat on your sandwich, do your layer of your bread and then a layer of your butter or spread of choice, and then a layer of mustard, and then whatever fillings. Oh, it's really nice. Never mind all this Poncy French rubbish. And we don't even want to talk about American mustard, which isn't. It's not even a chemical. It's just there. It's like American cheese. It's America's a real thing, but their cheese is not really anything. You can know. We don't talk about such things. Cheese, beer, and mustard. 3 things the Americans really can't do well at all. And tea.
Yeah, mustard's got to make you walk around just, teeth are fully exposed where your lips just cannot close anymore because,
It's one of those it's one of those garnishes that there's definitely a point at which there's too much, and you know it. It's like
Jeff,
it's like.
did also buy some Coleman's powder. So remember, Jeff, that works out at a ratio of 2 tablespoons to 20 ml of water.
Never made my own mustard. I suppose it does mean you can add things into it.
P.S. Don't actually do that because you might have a heart attack.
yeah, it's that restaurant English mustard that, oh, mate, it's raw. Yeah.
Whoa.
And the waiter comes around and goes, everything all right? Oh, yeah, my lips are just beginning to come back into the same postcode.
Have you ever had proper Japanese wasabi? Not like the crap you get in a pack of sushi.
I have
No.
proper Japanese grated wasabi, yes.
I've never actually had it, but I'm led to
It
believe
is.
it's exceptionally dangerous.
It is amazing.
Terrifying.
But your butthole will not thank you the next day.
Yeah, because
It
I know you get the little pack of green stuff in like a pack of sushi, but that's just horseradish. It's not actually wasabi. It's apparently that's nothing to do with it.
Colin, you are required in chat.
Oh,
Nope.
as the lovely Muse popped in, has she?
She has indeed.
Your requirements are required.
Cheers for the heads
Also,
up.
Jeff, please do not actually use that ratio. I do not want to kill you.
He was making that up.
Do not listen to me. Okay. I have missed a bit of chat.
What else is happening in chat?
Paul D. Tomato is not a fan of mustard. He says it's absolutely disgusting and the smell alone makes him sick to his stomach.
You've
That
not
surprises me.
Yeah, I suspect he's not had the correct mustard.
Panda says, Colin, I have to ask how you know about mustard and toothache.
That would be
Definitely
an
from
ecumenical
experience.
matter.
100% from experience.
I think you can do a paint by numbers on that one. I think it's
Yeah.
fairly straightforward to figure that one out.
Edward Leonard says he guesses that you Fox have never had Wisconsin cheese. Is that a good cheese, I'm assuming? The Bobbin says he tends to mix a big dollop of mustard into mashed potato when I have that.
Oh yeah.
If you use proper mustard, that is awesome sauce.
Yeah.
Proper Coleman's mustard in mashed potatoes with a whole mess of butter. Ooh, little tiny dash of pepper. Ooh. I've just built this bit of the Wackerjet, the Wasbomb Dackerjet thing.
Yeah.
And it's the bit that goes on the wing. It's the stem of the wing. But all I can see when I see that is like the USS Excelsior deflector dish.
I thought you were going to say all you can see when you say that is a fleshlight, and that's just you.
No, because you'd have the rib bit there and the saucer here, and then you'd have the Because
I can see it now. You've held it up in that manner, especially having recently just built mine.
Because there'd be the saucer there. You see, if that was ribbed, that'd be the neck, the gooseneck.
Yeah.
And then all you need to do is provide your own car stalling sound effect. Oh, Star Trek: The Voyage Home reference.
He's good, isn't he?
I am good.
Paul has brought up the cat coffee.
Civic. The stuff.
Yeah, the beans were eaten by a cat, cracked
I've
out,
had
cleaned
that.
and roasted.
I've had that. It's actually really nice.
It's supposed to be amazing coffee.
It is actually really nice. I think we had some by a company called Coffee Pigs. They also do tea pigs. Tea pigs, sorry, not coffee pigs. They do coffee and tea. But yeah, it's actually quite nice, that stuff.
I think I might have to check out, lads. I am hanging on
Oh, bless you.
for dear life. I'm not used to staying up anymore.
That's all right, mate.
I will see you all on Sunday.
Yeah,
you
take care, Si. It's always lovely to see you, mate. You know that.
It's lovely to see you guys too. Prepared to not have red chat.
Oh no, we're getting left in charge.
Do you want to go and try that sentence again? Do you want to go out and come back in again?
Prepared to not have your messages read, folks in chat.
Red. What? Chat, red.
Chat, red, chat, red.
Overflow error. Boop, blue screen.
Error 404. I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, tilt.
Tilt.
Right, good night, guys.
Take care,
Cheers,
mate.
Bye.
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 Missing
Like,
you already.
You can't find the button. Oh.
No, I am. I've got to say, like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh no.
He's a lovely lad.
We're in charge, dude.
Oh, Christ.
Oh no.
Oh, dear.
I'd just like to take this opportunity to apologise to everyone in the chat immediately.
Yes.
Because...
Not just because we're British. We apologise anyway, but...
Oh, yeah. It's just we are bad.
Muse says, even I wouldn't touch that coffee. I have had it. It's actually really nice.
Yeah, I've not. It's just like, I'm not a big coffee drinker as a rule anyway, but I don't know whether H has had any.
I tried drinking some coffee the day. I tried getting back into drinking a bit of coffee now and then. Because I can let coffee go cold and drink it till the cows come home, whereas tea, I can't really drink it after a while because it gets too cold. But I tried to have had a few cups of coffee, and I tell you what, I was like, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it. Heart rate was pounding. I'm like, I can't do coffee. What?
Candygram for Mongo's got his anniversary. He's been a channel member for 11 months now.
Ooh.
So yeah, many thanks, Jeff.
Ping and ding. Yeah.
So he's
good lad.
He's now got the Festa pork pie icon next to his name. So
lovely. Good lad. It's not true what they say about him, is it?
No, many thanks for your support, Jeff. It really does mean a lot.
Yeah. He's a good lad.
Muse says it's been inside an animal, so no. Yeah, but most of what we breathe, eat and drink, and that's been in one way or another inside something.
Yeah, but milk.
Yeah.
Is inside. Meat is inside an animal. Yeah. It's passed through the digestive tract. It's been then thoroughly cleaned and sterilised. It's not actually got cat poop on it.
It's not got Phil Harding go, fresh from this cow's bottom, fetch a coffee, Tony.
There we are, sir, right, Tony. It's come out of this cow's arse.
Yeah. We come in your trench, Tony.
I mean, let's not mince words, Bo. Milk comes from a cow's boob.
Yeah.
Caviar comes from a fish's lady parts.
Yeah.
Caviar is basically fish sperm. It's not really sperm, I know, but it's close enough to get the shock factor.
Fish eggs in it, caviar in it.
Yeah. Yes, eggs, but it's not the grossest of things. All it does is, for those that don't know, it's basically this bean.
Yeah.
That is eaten by a civet as a kind of a wild cat. They're really pretty civets. They're really gorgeous little creatures. They eat these beans, but of course they're indigestible pretty much to the cat. But they pick them up when they eat them with other stuff. They eat the fruit. So it goes through the cat's digestive system. The acids in the cat's stomach have a very, very mild effect on the outer shell of the nut, of the bean. They pit it a little bit. And then obviously it passes through the cat and comes out the other end because it can't digest it. It just goes through within a day. And some believe that this process going through the digestive tract gives it a certain essence, a certain flavour.
Yeah.
It probably doesn't actually make any difference at all, to be perfectly honest. It probably just makes no difference at all because it doesn't digest it. So, but I've tried it and it's just coffee. It just tastes like coffee. It's fine. It's cleaned and sterilised. It's not made it. They've not pulled it out of cat litter. It's not that bad. Like I say, you know, milk comes out of a cow's tit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's not.
Trude's move, innit?
Yeah, let's not mince words, Bones.
Panzer says the questions he has about civet coffee. Who's the poor fool that has to go mauling through cat turds to mine the beans? And does it pay well?
No.
Yeah,
A coffee farmer that makes money? No. The reseller does. The farmer doesn't. Capitalism, my friend. Capitalism.
Absolutely. Candygram says, I'm now wondering what the most unnatural food is. Cheese in a spray can has to be close.
Oh, yeah. Spray cheese. That Swedish, oh God, the not nilfisk, thingfisk, the fish one,
the rotten
fish,
the rotten herring.
Yeah, oh, herring's nice. Rotten herring, no.
Oh mate, that is got one of the most rancid smells ever, isn't it?
I mean, I've smelled durian and that was vile. I can't say I've ever smelled lutefisk. That's it, lutefisk.
Is it Norwegian? Scandinavian, isn't it? Or
Scandinavian, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember Giant Bomb when they first moved to when Giant Bomb first set up, they had a little sort of cellar and then they moved to their first proper office.
Yeah.
And somebody sent them a can of this. I don't know if it's surströmming or lutefisk. I don't know which one it is.
Bobbin says lutefisk.
Lutefisk. I don't know what surströmming is then. But anyway, they had a can of it and they put it up on just above the heads was like the wooden beams.
Yeah.
And they just put it up on there with some of the trinkets, you know, just it was a place to put it. And a year later, they took a photograph of it, and the can had gone like this.
Oh, really?
But it had been it had been in a little gap between two beams, and actually pushed the wooden ceiling beam apart.
Wow!
Because the fermentation in the tin. Imagine like a tin of tuna.
It expand, yeah.
Yeah, and it's actually pushing the two wooden beams. I'm like,
oh wow!
And in the end, they opened it. Oh dear Lord.
Yeah. Yeah, it does make the eyes water, doesn't it? It's like,
I can imagine. I mean, I've smelled some pretty bad things in my time.
I mean, you and Paul Stewart and Tony Fairclough.
That's me. I've got to go put my fox to bed. I shall be back in 10 minutes.
Yeah, no worries.
Back in a minute.
Panzer says, my ex did enjoy that coffee. He says he's got to say the look on her face when I told her the origin of the beans. Yeah. Edward Leonard says you let it dry out and then tumble it in a rock tumbler. Yeah, it's one of them. That smelly herring, Candygram says he gets a free message for being a member. Yeah, it's because you've reached a milestone. You get little milestone messages when you're a member on the channel for periods of time, mate, and it just flashes it up. Bobbin says, is that durians are nasty, except when they've been sitting in the sun all day, smell like raw sewage. Ooh. Edward Leonard says he loves kimchi, but it stinks like hell. Yeah, absolutely. But I was saying, Fox and Paul Stewart and Tony used to do the chili things and stuff like that, all the really hot and spicy foods. And I think we should set them up to do the rotting herring one. I think we should get Fox to do that on his channel in Paul Stewart's side. They did one where they had to eat, I think it was chilies or something that was pretty ropey, some kind of chili sauce. As part of their hot challenge. So I reckon that rotting herring has to come out. be interesting to see how they do with that one. Jeff says he loves kimchi. Not had it, mate. Not had it, so I wouldn't know, mate. I'm so English with me food. It's, yeah. Usually saying proper kimchi is good. Yeah. Not too sure about the coffee bean. No, I wouldn't fancy that myself, but mind you, I'm not really a coffee drinker, so. Are there foods out there you guys and girls wouldn't have under any circumstances? Is there something out there the mere thought of it? Like Paul was saying about the mustard, so yeah. I think with me it's cheese, I just don't like the stuff. James at Retro Rabbit says, my girlfriend keeps wanting me to buy a refrigerator from the Korean market, specifically for fermenting kimchi. Muse is saying, read back, you've missed something twice, Cole. What's that, my darling? Is it one of your messages? How far back have I got to go, love? Caviar is fish eggs. Oh, yeah, nope, yeah. Was that what you was on about, my love? Caviar? What else is there? Let's scroll back. That's people saying goodnight to Sai. Mew says, even I won't touch that coffee. Is that the one you was on about, my love?
Hello. Back again for a quick minute. I'll have to go off again in a minute, but...
Edward Leonard says, no poop.
No poop.
Yeah, I'll say it again. She says, civets are not feline. They're vivid yet.
The what?
Yeah. Sorry for,
okay.
Yeah, sorry for missing your messages, Muse. It's not deliberate, darling. Don't tell me off, dear.
I didn't know that. I didn't know they were vivid. Because they're known as civet cats, but I didn't guess they were really... Yes.
Yeah. Where did I put that bit? Oh, it's because I didn't... Did I cut it off?
Candygram says, I'm happy to give a super chat to whoever eats rotten herring for our amusement.
Yeah, I was trying to set you up. You know, you, Paul, Stewart, Cy and Tony do these weird things. I was thinking that perhaps the rotten herring would be a good challenge.
Yeah, no, the problem is, of course, that I know all about the rotten herring.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like you can send me a durian and I can't even imagine it. Herring.
Yeah.
No, I know it all too well. I've never had it. But yeah, I was about to say before I had to go that as someone who once had to reduce a roadkill fox down to a skeleton for a week.
Oh, right, yeah. Which
required, like on bones, you boil it, but it takes a week, not an hour. Yeah, I know many bad smells. I've seen smells you wouldn't believe, to quote Blade Runner.
Hansa says meerkats are not cats either, they're insurance sellers. So it did there. Simples.
Hello. 46 and 47. Yes, I'll have to scoot off again in a minute. Just wait.
Yeah, you already said, mate.
Goes to the loo in that. Bit of that. And one of them. How's your truck coming on, dear boy?
All right, mate. Retro saying his ex-wife's mum used to serve pickled herring in some kind of mayo-ish sauce around Xmas.
See, pickled herring's actually quite nice. And if you ever get like the roll mop herring and stuff like that, that's really nice. That's all sweet pickle. That's really nice. But that's because it's not actually rotten. That's the important bit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the truck's coming along, mate. Bit of body work and that.
Let's have a look. I'll put you full screen. You can have a show off.
Got some wheels that sanding. Engine block with exhausts.
Ooh.
So, yeah. A little bit of chassis with some scratch buildery on there, some end cuts.
I'm so glad you don't say chassis like something.
No, it's a chassis, isn't it? It's like, yeah.
Good girl.
Bloody chassis, only chuds say it like that.
Yeah.
A bit of sanding on the wheels still to do. So
no, wheel sanding.
I know. They've got the extra gloopy on there just to,
Yeah.
fill the
And
seams
you cover
in.
them all in mud anyway, so...
Well, this is it. They're going to be weathered to bejesus anyway, so...
Jesus! Oh,
I'm not
Jesus!
really that fussed, but you still got to make an effort, ain't you?
Yeah. Every time you say you're not that fussed, Cy Reynolds loses his wings.
Yeah, a little bit of him dies inside, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's only a bit of a mould line.
I know, bless him.
Cy Reynolds. This week, we're going to clean this one tyre. Until it's done.
But
Next week...
At the end of the day, dare I say it, building that way is one in things, isn't it? So there must be something in it.
Some people just enjoy that.
Absolutely. Fair play,
I'm far
though.
too lazy to go... I'm kind of a perfectionist. I like it to look nice, but I'm also far too lazy to go quite that far.
I think because we know we're going to do, especially with Orc, we're going to do a lot of weathering. We kind of blag it, don't we? We know we can get away with it, and it's like...
Yeah. Also, I'm not trying to, put it into a competition, so...
Exactly. It's like, yeah, I can get away with that because... Oh no!
Yeah, if anything goes horribly wrong, like if I take a chunk of the plastic out of something, I just put a panel across it in plastic card.
Absolutely.
Oh, look, there's a riveted on square of plastic card. Like
Bit of sprugo, bit of judicious picking at it. It's a weld line. Yeah. It's all
bit of hidey. There you go. What? Like I've just taken a gouge out there. Don't matter. I'll cover it with a bit of plastic card. There you go. Done.
Absolutely. That's when a bit of the old pigment powder and a bit of PVA comes in handy. It's like, there you go. Big
if it goes really wrong, just jam half a grot in it and make it look like he's been swallowed by whatever it is you've just built and messed up.
Yeah.
Look at roadkill on the front grille. There you go. Done.
And our old friend, battle damage.
Battle damage, yeah.
That always works,
I still love that. I think I sent you that, or you sent me that photograph of somebody made a scratch-built giant squigoth. Gargantuan squigoth.
Yeah.
But it was basically just like a big, like 2.5 foot tall plastic toy of a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Like a big brontosaurus.
Brilliant,
but
wasn't it?
They'd added all the orc stuff to it, and the best bit was at the top of the head there was like a platform.
Yeah.
And there was an orc on the platform with a fishing rod, and then on the fishing rod hanging down was a big clod of earth with a grot on it hanging off, and that was the bait to force the dinosaur to move forward because it was like trying to eat the grass, like a carrot on a stick. But the fact there was a grot hanging off it, like really not happy about it.
Yeah. I love that ingenuity. I've got a big 2 foot tall AT-AT that Cole sent me down from making models. And he sent me it down. Do you remember in the 80s you had the big Palatoy AT-AT?
Oh, got a scoop. I shall be back presently.
Yeah, I'll hold on to that one till you get back then.
5 minutes.
Edward Leonard says, pickle, most things are good, but not fish, in my opinion. One of them. I am partial to a bit of tuna, I must admit. Is my new favourite thing. Edward Leonard says to Retro Rabbit, cream sauce. Muse has got to go back to work later all. See you later, Muse. Take care, darling. Stay safe. See you when you hang out soon, mate. What else is going on there? It's everyone saying goodbye to Muse. Panzer says Chassis, wasn't that a talking dog from the movies? Are you at work tonight, Pans, or are you off, mate? Not sure. I'll lose track of what your shifts are now. Muse says some nonce called it a cat once and it stuck. Yeah. Absolutely. What's that? He says there. My girlfriend. Oh, no, I've read that. Yeah, that rotten herring, Jeff. Yeah. Ooh. I'm sure folks will do that if you do. James at Retro Rabbit says he started work on his 2021 the Red Gobbo just before I decided to clean the entire bench. Lovely squig bouncer with Xmas ball in his mouth and a few in his belly. Yeah, I saw pictures of that. I was tempted to get one, but I kind of run out of time. So I don't know whether they're still available, but I will certainly have a look out for this year's one when it comes out. Because they look an interesting little build, and like you say, it's just something different, isn't it? It's just another opportunity to build something different, isn't it, with orcs? That's what I like about them. What's he saying there? Until I tried it and thought the same, laugh out loud. That's Edward Leonard, bless him. Was it one of them, Edward? Did it bite you in the backside, mate? Some little gadgetry of goodness going on the front of there. I like the mentality of these things. It's just like mad. Orc stuff. It's great fun. Thoroughly enjoy it. Just the way it's all cobbled together. Get rid of that bit of muck off the front of there. And that's the thing with me, I find, with this subject matter, is I do like the vehicles. I like the gnarliness of them. You know, because it's all, I'm not having to be too fussy about everything being immaculate. You know, you can just mess it up and add bits to it and make it your own. So I do like it. I will build more of it. That I'm certain of. Somewhere along them lines that's going to go like. Yeah, I'll add me a bit of that. Again, already I'm thinking of adding a few little extras with it. I've got some fellas that are going to go in the back of this. Wendy Hickson's off. She says, I'm going to have to say bye and good night, everyone. Take care, be safe, and look after yourself. Hugs. You take care, Wendy. Many, many, many thanks for coming in. It is always lovely to see you. And stay safe, my love. Look after yourself.
Returned.
He is returned.
Who's gone?
Wendy Hickson's gone. Bye-bye.
Hi, Wendy.
Yeah.
Bye. Take care, Wendy. Thank you for coming in.
Always nice to see Wendy. We love Wendy.
Wendy's awesome. She sent us many good things. She's lovely.
She is very, very generous lady. Always nice to see her. How is Mum, mate? She all right?
Yeah, she's all right. She's fine. Got her up a bit earlier today.
Oh, really?
She had no choice. I just chose to get her up a bit early. So she managed to get up about a half hour ahead of schedule, which was quite nice.
ACIDO back in. He says, hello again. I will rant less now. Mate, you want a good wibble, EC, mate. You have a good wibble, mate.
What was he ranting about before?
I've got no idea, but it must have been
Did I miss something? Did I miss something? I don't know.
Yeah, don't know, mate.
Hey, if it saves us having to have a wibble.
Yeah, no wrong with good rant, mate. You want to have a rant, you have a rant, mate.
Yeah. Oh, hello, that's your 2-hour reminder.
Yep, no worries, mate.
Talking of not letting copyright music play.
I'll just put me plates on, mate, so that I can stand.
Ooh, I'm going to set another 2-hour timer. Not that I think I'll last that long, but...
No. Probably go to, what, 2:30, 3 o'clock, the latest?
Yeah, go for it. Anyway, you never said, did you say your belly and belly? What did you have for dinner?
I had hot and spicy, mate. Barbecue chicken rings, onion. Let's just come back to me, Mike. I was down
It's all right, we can eat you, don't worry.
Yeah, onion barges, chicken wings. Spicy chicken.
Ooh.
Onion, did I say onion rings? Onion rings.
They're good enough that you can say it twice.
Yeah, and some spare ribs.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of protein in that one. You're liking your chicken goodness, aren't you?
Yeah, because, like I say, it's all part of this. Yeah,
it's low fat protein at the end of the day.
Absolutely, you know, and she is a wonderful cook, so.
Yeah.
She's like, yep, you can have that. I've got some treats that I'm allowed, so she's going to dice them out. What are your treats?
Tell us what your treats are.
I've got some licorice all sorts and bits and bobs. So.
Licorice all sorts.
Yeah, so she's like, you know, yeah, you can have some, but not all of them. I said, yeah, no worries.
Just what you need when you've got an overactive butt. More is licorice.
Yeah. I politely asked that she hold off for a couple of days until.
Yeah.
Until my body gets used to the increased dosage of metformin.
Yeah. Maybe just hold back on that one for a few days, love, just for tactical purposes.
But it's like anything. They said to expect it, and you just got to go with it, Fox, haven't you? Yeah. You know what it's like.
Yeah, happens to all of us.
Yeah,
for different reasons.
And then I'll get all my blood work done in 6 weeks, I think it is.
Yeah.
Get another round done just to see how my body's adjusted. It's all very clever.
Yeah.
And like I say, it's a learning curve.
Yeah. Just take a while to get it all dialed in. You've got to target on everything, haven't they?
Well, absolutely. I mean, Steve will know this. Steve Spencer Bean, he's diabetic. So, you know, once you get it all sorted out and you start getting on top of it, it'll come together.
Yeah. Or just learning to live a different way, isn't it? That's all it is.
Yeah, and for me, it's just knowing the warning signs when things aren't going right.
Yep.
So,
Well, for me, it's like making sure you're not doing the wibbly wobbly hand thing.
yeah, I mean, it's like anything because
Calling it out if I see it.
you get MS shakes, but you know, I now get obviously the hypo. So sometimes you don't know what's an MS and what's a diabetes. So I've just basically got to say, either way, it's not good.
Yeah.
So yeah, check one, then check the other type of thing, and it's just learning new ways of doing things, mate.
Although, one positive.
Yes.
How many people can say that when they start getting the shakes, people from all over the world will say in chat, "Go and have a sweet."
Yeah.
Not many people can say that when they start getting the Beatus DTs.
Yeah.
Somebody in America or Africa or South Africa or Germany will be like, "You're shaking a bit there, Cole."
Yeah, Kevin did it the other week because he's diabetic. He said to me, no offence, I don't want to upset you, but you might want to go and have some sugar, you know, some jelly babies and that. I said, oh, and he's like, yeah, your shakes are kicking in, mate. And I hadn't really noticed, but, you know, he was bang on.
That's the advantage of doing these kind of live streams, isn't it? You've got a little community of watchers there that can
also as
help you
well
out.
is it's handy that people that have got the same conditions are forward enough to give you advice.
Yep.
You know, and throw MS onto it, and it does complicate things a little bit, but you know,
we're all getting to that age. We're all getting to that age now where most of us have got something. So most of the people in chat will be able to spot something somewhere along the line.
It's like anything, isn't it? Every birthday, your medication increases. That's what I've noticed.
Yeah.
But no, it's nice that people feel comfortable giving me a rollicking every now and then because I need that. Because
we all know you well enough. We all know you well enough.
I was sitting there sort of, oh yeah, I'll be all right in 5 minutes. I'll have something in a couple of minutes, just another couple of minutes. And by then, it had obviously become too apparent. And he barked at me. And
we all know that's what you like, you see. So we all know to give you a little bit of a kick every now and then.
Yeah. And I'll get better.
Yeah. You can't learn these things overnight.
No. H is going off. They're doing the diabetic nurses, putting her on some courses where she can sort of learn stuff about it. And yeah, so
She can be your wingman.
yeah, well, she's my carer anyway, isn't she? So
Yeah.
But yeah, so which is nice for Helen because she gets to know what she's doing is right, if that makes
She gets to know what to expect,
yeah.
what to look out for.
I'm pretty lucky with practice I'm with because they're very open about that sort of thing and supportive of patients, and I think that's very clever of them to do that. It saves them money at the end of the day because you're not ending up getting hospitalised all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I moved GP about a year ago, myself and Mama Fox, because our GP was, our local practice was utterly incompetent and just rubbish. So I moved him to one that's literally a couple of roads away now, around the corner.
Yeah.
And it's like a small practice. They've got like one main doctor and a couple of others that you rarely see.
Yeah.
And then they've probably got like about 10 patients. They're really small.
Yeah.
You walk in and the waiting room's like 4 chairs. It's like, oh, it's tiny.
Bless.
And it's really good because I walked in, I said, because I had like tests for blood pressure and stuff about a year ago.
Oh,
and
right,
I walked in for a checkup and I was like, I've been eating a little bit of junky food. And she went, shut up, don't care, doesn't matter, don't worry about it. I'm like, I like you.
Oh, bless her.
She went, everybody comes in here trying to be a doctor. I'm the doctor. Shut up and don't worry about stuff.
Because you're on statins as well, aren't you?
No.
No, you're not. Okay.
They told me to go on a low fat, or they told me to eat a bit more healthily. But
oh, sorry, I thought you was on statins like me, mate. So
no, they said because she said your blood pressure's a bit high.
yeah,
but we'll just put you on, healthier. Just eat healthier, Lila. Lots of brown pasta and stuff, and less crap. And we'll try and avoid putting you on anything for it. But I don't know. I'll probably have to go back for a checkup because I'm feeling a bit weird lately. Something's not quite right.
Yeah, I mean, my diabetic nurse, she said, you've done well. She said, because for the last decade, you've been pre-diabetes and have managed it with diet and exercise. She said, but you've just got to that point now where we've got to intervene, And I'm like, yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
So...
Panzer Cat says, it's official. KFC is health, Fox. Excellent. It's like a medic pack in a game.
Absolutely, mate. That's all we needed to know.
Yeah, I mean, I've started noticing, over the past few, I'm just probably tired, but last few months, it's like, sometimes I'm sat there and it's like, sometimes if you do something really exhausting and when your heart beats, your whole body kind of pulses.
Yes.
Sometimes it just feels like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can feel my stomach or my butt or my hands pulsing a little bit.
Like
and I'm
a palpitation.
Well, like a little fuzzy feeling that pulses it, and I'm like, is this just high blood pressure, or I don't know what it is. It's weird.
Oh,
but
you're almost getting like flushes.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But it seems to be like... And sometimes I'm lying there in bed getting to sleep and I can feel that kind of...
Yeah, mild menopause and a bit of high blood pressure probably, mate.
Yeah, probably is. I'll just go to the doctor and say...
Yeah, get your blood pressure checked. You can just walk in and do it now, can't you? There's machines.
Should be like, you're going through the change, Fox.
Yeah.
This is where your boobs drop, and I'm like, oh, God, past that, don't worry about
That's
that.
where they sit there and go, you're going to get an affinity to liking beige.
Beige and also floral patterns.
Yeah.
Also,
Instead of your
perhaps,
jeans and your T-shirt, you'll be wanting to wear a cardi and flannels.
bit of Laura Ashley. No!
You'll be sitting there going, cool, that chintz cushion looks really nice.
Right, I need to cover up some gaps that I can't be bothered filling.
Good man.
So it's time to do some, on the engine here, it's time to do some small bits of plastic card.
Oh, you're doing kit bashing again, ain't you?
No, I'm doing the plastic card of absolute laziness. Called model making for lazy arse gits.
These are called technical guru embellishments.
They're called artisanal accents.
Guruisms.
Artisanal detailing. Artisanal detail point.
Yeah, this is the bit where we go, yeah, there's a lot of work in de-seaming that. I'm just going to cover that up with a bit of plastic card.
Well, I've got a little bit in there, you see, that I can't get anything in there to get that little, so I might just put a little square of plastic there and a little bit here. And it's just, because there's little plastic squares moulded in little bits of metal panels, so do a few more of them, put some rivets in, no one will ever know.
No one will know.
No, there's no way anyone will ever find any of that out because it's not been on the internet or anything.
No. That's it.
How can anybody possibly know?
Not going to watch my streams, are they?
How's anybody ever going to know that I've done that? They're not, because I keep these things quiet.
Absolutely. And again, many thanks to Fox, because he went out of his way and actually pimped the show tonight, because someone who will remain nameless that's totally useless.
Yeah.
Put the stream up on YouTube last night, but yeah, didn't do any pimpage.
I sent the thing saying, I pimped the stream. I did it on your group as well.
Yeah.
Thanks, Fox.
Thank you. I'm really useless, you know.
The thing is, I kind of know you do it the night before, so as far as I know, you're probably still asleep. So I just go ahead and do it. If it's not by when I get up, then I'll just do it. There you go. See, little tiny piece of plastic in there now. Looks like a greeble. No filler required.
I'm impressed.
I'm liking this Orc nonsense because it means I cannot do any filling ever.
Yeah,
because
but Orc is freedom.
That's what I'm saying.
Panzer comes up and says it's foxification. There you go.
Yep, foxularity. These aren't greebles, they're foxicles. You see what I did there?
I did. I am impressed.
Adding little foxicles to my I've been having thoughts, and it's probably a terrible idea.
All right, go for it.
I've been having thoughts. The whole model making guru thing.
Mm-hmm.
I've kind of realised I've seen a few things over the last couple of weeks in various things, and I've kind of forgotten, but I really love the word wolf, the look of the word.
Yes.
And when I first started out, I was wolf models and miniatures.
Oh, right, yeah.
A long way. And I'm starting to think now, it's like, as a brand name, wolf is much better than model making guru, but I think it's probably too late to change now. I don't know what I'd do, but I do regret that I'm not using the word wolf more in my stuff, because A, it's my surname, but B, it's cool, man. It's a cool word.
Yeah, it's part of you, isn't it? The trouble is you're so associated with the model making guru name now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm kind of knackered now.
All your merch and all of that lot.
Yeah.
Because I was going to shorten mine a few years back and just have it as Festa 67, but it's set in stone now, isn't it?
I mean, I suppose I could do something like wolf models or something, could be the bit that I use when I sell my models on eBay.
Yeah. Becomes almost like your seller name.
Maybe, I don't know.
You could always do a sub-channel, couldn't you?
I don't know what I put on it, though.
You could have one which is your guru goodness, and then another one dedicated to, I don't know, whatever.
Porn, no, sorry. You mean for
that,
other people to watch, not me.
Yeah,
Okay.
that special stuff that you do when no one else is around.
Special gentleman's interest programming.
Yeah.
I suddenly realised, because I saw a few things that were branded with the name Wolf, and I thought, it's my surname, and it's kind of a really cool looking word, and it sounds great, Wolf. I should have used that more, but I never. It's too late now. Really, I suppose. Can't go back.
One of them, innit? It's... Yeah, which way do you go with it?
Yeah, people don't realise that is actually my surname.
Oh, this shit, a lot of people think your real name's Mike, don't they? How many people have gone, called you Mike over the years?
Thanks, Facebook.
Yeah.
It's quite funny sometimes when I tell people my name, and it's like, I always make sure when I'm going in it, if I'm going to be out and about, I always take my driving licence, because I always get the look.
Oh, right,
and I have to be like, no, really, no, look, there's my driving licence. There you go. Thank you.
That is my name, honest.
And they go, wow, really? Yeah. Oh. I don't know. It's too late to change anything now, though, I suppose. Branding and that.
Yeah, it's one of them, it gets quite established, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The branding. People get to know it.
Yes. I don't know. Doodle-doo, doodle-doo-doo. This is lazy repair work. It is the best. It's the best repair work? Lazy repair work. I went to the adequate school of gap filling. If a gap's worth filling, it's worth filling adequately.
Yeah.
That's my motto. See, you'd never know.
Yeah, Edward's saying the Retro Rabbit, he owes many, many, many people stickers. Yeah, the thing is our postage costs went right through the roof, mate. I got to the point where I was spending £60 a month just sending stickers out.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I've got a bag full of stickers and things to send out to people.
Yeah.
That's why, I used to love doing the little giveaways every Sunday.
Yeah.
I'd literally give, because people sent me kits to give. I've said this before, but people actually sent me model kits and things to give away as prizes. And I've got boxes of them in the attic upstairs, boxes of kits to give away. But the problem was, the cost of sending them.
Yeah.
It's like, it was costing me, say, to send a master grade Gumpler kit size box to the US was like £60.
Yeah.
So where I was really enjoying giving stuff away for free, it was costing me a fortune. So I had to stop for a while. Panzer Cat says, time for me to head off back. Take care all and see some of you in the stream over the weekend. See you, Panzer. Yeah, Rabbit says, I think I forgot to send you my address like 3 years ago for a sticker. Yeah. Lol. When I was in Wisconsin, says Dan Kramer, there were tons of people that I knew there who had the surname Wolf with different spellings.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the right spelling is, of course, WOLF. But that's the funny thing. It's like, the funny thing is, it's like Wolf. Everybody knows Wolf. Knows how to spell Wolf, but if you say what's your surname, Wolf, and they start, it's like WOLF, not 3 O's and 4 F's. What?
Yeah.
I don't know why they always misspell it. It's only got 4 letters, 5 letters. No, 4 letters.
It's because they're daft.
It's like Wolf, as in big bad. Oh.
Yeah.
What's your name? Wolf. How do you spell that? Really?
Yeah. What do you mean you don't know? Yeah.
One sec.
Oh.
I did a really big sniffle then.
Oh,
no, I
right.
did a big sniffle. I didn't want to gross everybody out. Doodle doo doodle doo. Edward Leonard says, you missed it in when Fox dissed everyone in Wisconsin when he said American cheese was rubbish. Well, American, I'm not saying all American cheese, but like American sliced cheese is...
He can do that quite often. It's just like, yeah, he just alienated an entire nation. It's all right, man.
Alienation.
Fox is like, I don't care. It's not my channel.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's like, he don't care.
Good point, well made.
Yeah. No, it's his channel. He made me say it. Hate on him. To Fox.
I was forced to say things by my contract with the Illuminati. Oh, crap.
Yeah. Yeah, Big Boy did it and run away.
Yeah. It was that 15-year-old. I was here. I know that he hasn't had it. Oh, I got Mama Fox some cheeses the other day when I was in Tesco's.
Yeah.
And one of them was a little packet, like little wedges of cheese about this big.
Oh, right, yeah, the mini cheeses,
like one,
yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's like a wedge of cheese.
Yeah.
One of them was, like cheese and chive or something.
Yeah.
One of them was cheese and something else, but one of them was cheese and apricot.
Ooh.
Right, so it's like a mature cheddar, sort of, but with like bits of apricot in it. And I have to tell you in all seriousness, mouth orgasms.
Really?
Because this is the weird thing. When you first put the cheese in your mouth, it tastes like a nice creamy, like cheddar.
Yeah.
Almost a bit like a red Leicester in its squishiness. Not crumbly and dry like a cheddar, but it was creamy and nice. But then, after about 10 seconds, when the cheesy flavour fades a little bit, all you're left with is the taste of ice cream.
Ooh.
I don't know why, but it tastes like you've just had a nice big mouthful of like really nice flavoured, like some sort of ice cream.
Yeah.
And it's just a lingering flavour afterwards, and it's like, obviously it must be the apricot, but oh my God, it was so nice.
So a proper taste sensation, was it, mate?
Absolutely. It was like orgasmic. It didn't last more than about 5 minutes. Mama Fox is like, I want some more of that. And now I want some more again. More. Keep bringing it more.
She wants it all of it, not just some of
it. I want it all. Yeah. So it didn't last long, that cheese. But my God, it was just this real, like, I can't really, it's not like a strawberry ice cream. It was more like a vanilla, but with a hint of something, like taste, like a soft, it was really nice. Aftertaste, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Where the first mouthful was just cheese, then after 10 seconds, sweet. My mouth was doing little somersaults.
Oh, bless her.
There you go. A little bit of greebling.
Oh, I'm impressed, mate.
All curved to make it all blend, and when I've primed that over, no one will ever know. Because you've got little square bits here and there, you see, so it all blends in. No one will ever know there was a whole dirty, great big seam gap down there. And that was a lot less hassle.
Just enhancing what was already there.
Yes, and no one will ever know. No one will ever know the truth of this. We shall never speak of this again.
Absolutely.
And I know when I put the wings together, there'll be a bit of work to do on those, because when you put the wing roots in, you get a gap. You do get a gap down there that I can fill with a strip of plastic card.
You're good.
EC Idaho says American cheese is rubbish as a type of cheese.
Retro Rabbit says, Guinness cheddar.
Ooh. Oh, I've not had Guinness for ages. I went through a real phase of Guinness. When I was young and I knew better, I used to drink fizzy lager crap, and then when I discovered not fizzy lager crap.
Oh, yeah, proper real ales is my thing, mate.
Well,
Guinness
the funny thing
is,
it's amazing the journey I took, because I went from fizzy lager crap to not knowing anything and just drinking things like Boddingtons.
Yeah.
Or McCaffrey's and things like that.
Yeah.
Just smooth beers, session beers.
Yeah.
And then I started drinking Guinness for a few years. That was my drink of choice. And then I actually found the proper ales. And that's when I became a grown-up man that drinks proper beer at that point.
Yeah.
Realised that Boddington's it's not really beer.
No.
Let's be honest. McCaffrey's, it's nice. Guinness is nice, but yeah.
Yeah, it's always nice to go into a pub you haven't been to before. You know, you could look at it and go, oh, what's that? You know, you'd look at their pumps with real ales and you would sample it. But
yeah.
I mean, it's still a thing, is it, real ales?
Oh, God, yeah, absolutely. There's a pub near me that my friend's dad used to actually own. It was then and still is a free house. And it just sells ales.
Yeah.
It's a proper old pub. But yeah, no.
Yeah, they used to always be a good pub to go into, a free house. Because, like you say, you wasn't tied to a particular brewery, so you could pretty much get whatever you wanted. So you was always guaranteed some good ales in a free house.
Yeah.
And he's
well, I was also guaranteed some good ales in a free house because my mate's dad was the landlord. He was like, come in, lads, go and play around the taps.
Yeah.
He got some Boddington's Old Tom in there once, and he says, I'm not going to sell it because I've only got one barrel, so just go downstairs to the bar we don't use and help yourself.
Yeah. Oh, happy days.
It actually had, if you went down some stairs through a secret door,
yeah,
there was a whole bar downstairs.
Oh, nice.
That hadn't been touched since like 1954.
Yeah.
So it was like an old wooden bar. Looks like some kind of wooden county of making a shed.
Yeah.
With like straw on the bare stone floor.
Oh, proper old school, yeah.
And they used it as a cellar, but it was like it hadn't been used as like a bar for like 50, 60 years. And he's like, there's a barrel of Old Tom down there. It's been tapped. Just go and help yourself.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. The problem is, 1 pint of Old Tom and you are screwed.
Yeah.
We had a barrel and there were 3 of us and we had a whole barrel of it.
Oh, mate, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't have even spelled my postcode.
Your proper Brahms and Liszt was your mate.
Yeah, I think I didn't leave the pub that night. I just crashed in one of the spare rooms. It's a massive old building. They had like 15 spare bedrooms. I'll just go and sleep in that corner of the floor where all my piss is.
How many I love yous did you get through? I love you. I love you. I love you.
So, I mean, Old Tom is really nice, but you really can't have more than a couple. It's like 10 or 11% or something crazy.
Yeah. I got drunk on port once when I was a lot younger. Never again, mate.
That's not, you know, like some sugary foods are instant diabetes.
Yeah.
Port is instant gout.
Yeah, it was like, what's this bottle? And I was just necking it, and it's like,
yeah. When you're that young and stupid, you don't know, do you?
Exactly. Oh,
I need to put some rivets on these plastic card bits that I did earlier.
Yeah.
That's what I've done. Yeah, so once I got onto proper, you know, actual good beer that isn't fizzy lager crap.
Yeah.
You can't go back to fizzy lager. I mean, if I go for a meal in a restaurant and it's like Italian or Chinese or a curry or something, and all they've got is like, you know, Kingfisher lager or Kirin beer or Tsingtao or something like that, then that's fine because you're having it with a meal. It's all right.
Yeah.
And that's like a Chinese or a Japanese, like a bottle of Asahi or Tsingtao or something like that. That's just a nice fizzy beer. But, yeah, you won't ever drink fizzy beer in a pub.
No.
It's like one of my friends says to me once, you coming out for a drink? I said, no. I said, why? I said, because you're going to go to a crappy bar where they sell fizzy lager crap and I have no interest. And they play crap music all day.
You're going to go to a theme pub that's playing Howard Jones on a Wurlitzer.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, they'll just go to a bar that sells,
Yeah.
flipping bottled beers, and I'll be like, it'll be full of twonks that I don't want to be anywhere near.
Alco Pops. Yeah.
Yeah, Alco Pops and morons
Yeah.
talking about football. Why would I want to go there?
Yeah. We like it.
Yeah, fair point, well made.
Yeah. You get some little zitty face tearaway that smells a wet beer mat and thinks they're Rambo.
Yeah. I mean, my golden standard is, does it have Stella on tap? Yeah, if yes, then no.
Yeah.
Does it have any kind of fizzy beer on tap?
Yeah.
What is it might be 14%. I'm not sure actually. It's not weak. A couple of pints of that and you're screwed.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
I can't disagree with American cheese slices. They're not real cheese, though I do like it on a burger. Says Dan Kramer. I'm vindicated. Rabbit says, just so there's not a misunderstanding, I didn't ask for a lot of bacon and eggs. I want you to bring me all the bacon and eggs you have. Ron Swanson. Candy Graham says, I used to homebrew my own beer, made some imperial stouts that were very nice.
Oh.
I can strongly recommend. I don't know if you can actually buy them on the internet, but there's a brewery, not local to me, but near me, or in my area, called it's the Dunham Brewery, and they make these beers, these stouts and porters, and like the Dunham Milk Stout, Dunham, Dunham Milk Stout. Oh God, I could drink that all day. It's just sex in a bottle. It's so black, light just when light gets through it, like if you try and pass a photon through it, the photon just stops.
Yeah.
And never comes out. Edward Leonard says, we make all kinds of cheese from Stilton's, Cheddars, Gouda, just not a sliced cheese. And I'm not talking about craft cheese food slices, which is what you're thinking. Yeah, I'm not talking about proper, I'm talking about like sliced cheese. In the same way, it's like the kind of crappy American mustard you get on hot dogs. It's not really mustard, we have some lovely 18% beers from Quebec here in Ontario, says Rabbit.
Oh, nice.
Holy cow, 18%. Yeah. Like, if anybody's got access to Robinson's Old Tom, trust me, it's really nice, but it will just...
Yeah, put hairs on your chest.
It'll destroy you. I had a beer called Waggle Dance once, which was a beer with honey in it.
Oh, nice.
It was really great because I was completely, after 4 pints of it on a hot July day, sat in a beer garden, I was completely sober from the waist up.
Oh, it was like having a zombie. Your legs are pissed.
Yeah, basically, I said, right, I'm going to head off home now.
Yeah.
And I had about a mile to walk home. It was a gorgeous summer's evening.
Yeah.
From the waist up, I was completely sober.
Yeah.
And I started walking off home, and it was like, from the waist down, I was absolutely wasted.
Drunk, yeah, I know that. Yeah.
And my mates were like, you kind of walked off completely sober, but your legs were completely pissed, and you were like, well,
yeah.
I said, yeah, and then I woke up at 3 in the morning and sat on the toilet for 5 hours. With things coming out of all ends, not just one end.
Yeah,
It was the combination of a hot summer's evening and about 6 pints of Waggle Dance in an hour.
Ooh.
It's really gorgeous, lovely honey beer, but just don't drink it, 6 pints of it in about 2 hours.
Yeah, it's not a good thing, is it?
It's a session beer. I learned that night it's a session beer.
Yeah, that's when you sit there and you're like, why am I doing this to myself?
Well, I didn't know until I got up and walked off and got halfway down the road. I'm like, why is everything below the waist completely blasted, but everything above it's fine? Yeah. Down there I'm dancing, up here I'm thinking, what?
Yeah, you're absolutely mullered.
Yeah.
I'm so glad it's not just me that sort of thing used to happen to.
Oh, no.
Oh,
there you go, four little rivets. 4 little rivets on that. I know you can't see it, but 4 little rivets on that panel.
Oh, happy days.
Makes it look a bit less like a greeble and more like a plate.
Absolutely.
I'll put some more rivets on because I like doing rivets. Rivets are brilliant. I'll put some bigger rivets on.
Is it
big, dirty, great big bolts?
Is it riveting? Oh, come on. At least let me have one.
Go on then. Hey!
Cheers, mate.
Yeah.
I feel better now.
Try it. Right, don't come back. Do you know, honestly,
I had one simple job.
Mother warned me about people like you. She really did.
Yeah. Yeah, that Festa. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Of course, it's all true, isn't it?
Absolutely. I'll tell you what now, though, it's been so long since I've actually even been into a pub. My Sunday drinking session days are so far behind me that if I went into a pub now for Sunday afternoon with a friend and we decided to sit there and have a bit of a sesh, I'd be broken in about an hour.
I don't actually miss it, to be honest with you, mate.
I don't.
One of them. Don't miss it at all.
I was never like, a big drinker, but I used to enjoy like hanging out in the pub and having a Sunday. It wasn't let's go to the pub and get absolutely trolled. It was let's go to the pub at lunchtime and just spend a pleasant day sitting in the pub talking.
Yeah, just having a chat like we are now. Yeah.
Yeah, having bar snacks and making a pint last an hour and just get through about 5 or 6 pints over the course of about 12 hours. Then when the day's finished, you wobble off to McDonald's, have a couple of burgers and go home to bed.
You used to always make sure that you never ate the peanuts in the brick at the bar.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and then when the little man comes around with the basket of fish sticks, that's your cue that you've got like 1 pint left.
Yeah.
And then, that was a pleasant way when you spent all week at work in some crappy job.
Cool, yeah.
You didn't want to go out on the lash on a Saturday night because that was going out and getting pissed territory. I was too old for that. I was going to bars and clubs. It was never into that. But Sunday afternoon in the pub, sit there, have your lunch in the pub if it's a nice pub that does food, or if not, fine. We used to go to a little cafe that did like a breakfast on a Sunday, which was really nice.
Oh right, yeah.
Little cafe that did like a nice breakfast, and then we wandered down the road to our favourite home from home pub that we used to go to 2 or 3 times a week when we were much younger.
Yeah.
And then we'd stay there all day on a Sunday with the beer and cigarettes. This was going back 20 years. Beer and cigarettes and crisps and fun times. And then we'd go home on sleep, and then you get up for work the next day, and 5 days of hell, and then you start all again.
Start it all again. Yeah.
But it was a nice lifestyle. It was good days in those days. Play some darts maybe. We were never ones for like going to the pub to get pissed. That was
no, I never saw the fun of that. I just used to like having a chillaxed evening with your mates. Bit of a bit of pool, bit of darts.
Yeah, that was it. It was hanging out with. We weren't the kind of mouth breather that went out to get drunk.
Nah.
If ideally we try not to get drunk, we just want to be nicely. And that's where that thing about using the word nicely came from. We said, we don't want to get drunk, I just want to get nicely.
You just want to get merry.
Get a little bit floaty, a little bit warm in the head. And then, we just have a nice evening.
Yeah.
Wobble home.
Yeah.
And, often wobbling home would involve me and this other guy wobbling home past the kebab shop and then trying to wobble with the kebab
you
in
would
a tray.
Always fancy the greasiest kebab ever, wouldn't you?
Yeah, or the biggest, messiest burger that you've then got to walk. You're trying to walk and hold this messy burger and the tray.
Yeah.
And have a conversation, and you're a little bit wibbly wobbly.
Yeah, and that nice new shirt you had bought would have the entire kebab down it by the time you got home.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but of course, by that point it's like 11:30 at night, so it's a summer's night. It's dark, but it's also kind of nice and cool. It's been a warm day. It's cooled off a little bit. Them were good days. Then
they were happy days, happy times, wasn't it?
It's like that will probably cost you. That will be the thing, right? In those days, going back 20 odd years, you could probably spend 20 quid across the course of a whole, maybe 25, 30 quid across. That'd be a whole Sunday in the pub. That would be from lunchtime, including your lunch. Your Sunday lunch and your beers in the pub and your burger on the way home. 20, 30 quid.
Yeah,
it was great. Small price to pay back in those days.
Yeah,
small price. I miss those days. So we were never the kind of let's go to the bar and get pissed.
Yeah.
No, because we're not mouth breathing morons.
Yeah. I used to always, that was people's intention before they even went out. It's like, I won't be going out with you then.
No.
And you'd always see them a few days later with the biggest shiner ever.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, your night went well then.
Yeah, you're a moron then, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you wanted to stay at the other bloke? Yeah, good night out, was it? Don't know, can't remember anything. Woke up with this black eye in someone's hedge. Oh, great.
Money well spent. Yeah. Whereas me, I had like 7 or 8 pints, 400 packs of cheese and onion crinklings. Probably some really dubious fish sticks. A burger on the way home, and it's all brilliant.
Yeah.
No, I was never into that kind of going out and getting trolleyed nonsense. That was just for mouth breathing chuds. For me, it was like spending time with my friends. That's what it was about. It wasn't about who can drink the most pints and all that kind of rubbish.
Nah.
That's just alpha male bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Some of the things people used to get up to, eh?
Oh, yeah. It's like there was one of the pubs we used to go to, they used to have like live jazz. You walk in and it was like a grumpy old man pub.
Yeah.
But they had like a live group of grumpy old men playing random jazz stuff over Friday and Saturday. And bizarrely, because we were there for hanging out and having a good time, it wasn't full of chuds for a start, which was great.
Yeah.
But one of the nicest beers they had was actually a no alcohol beer called Eingebrow.
Oh, right, yeah.
Which tasted like honey, and it was really nice. So I used to sit there and drink that all night because I didn't get drunk, and it was just really nice drink. It tasted really sweet. They had proper alcoholic versions of it.
Yeah.
But it tasted really sweet like honey. When I'm playing Skyrim now and I think about mead and stuff, I always think about, does it taste like Eingebrow? In my head, I bet it does.
Yeah, but that was also a good thing about drinking in them days, is if you had a really friendly landlord, they would do a lock-in.
Oh God, yeah. We our local home from home one, we knew every night was a lock-in that we went in.
Yeah, and that used to be fun.
It was always fun because he'd be getting everybody. He'd be like, "Go on then, bugger off the lot of you," but he'd give you a little wink because he knew the regulars. He'd be like, "Yeah, you guys can stay there," but he's getting all the chuds out.
Yeah.
But you just kind of, and then he says, "Yeah, right. I need to clean the pumps out. Oh, look, there's 12 pints on the bar. Look.
Yeah. Oh, where did they come from? Keep an eye on the bar for it. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
Yeah, lock-ins. I don't know whether that would be a legal thing now.
It was never a legal thing then, but yeah, they still happen. They still happen. They
Mind
always
you,
have.
Pubs
they
are
always
pretty
have.
much. Are they 24 hours still?
No, they can do if they want to, but I don't think a lot of them do.
Yeah.
Most of your proper traditional pubs probably don't, because they can't afford the staff.
Yeah, staff hours and
But there's still, that's the only sad thing, is that there's so many chain pubs now that you have to work hard to find a proper pub.
Yeah.
More often than not around here, you have to go out into the country and find the little country pubs. But even some of them are now a bit like
most of our traditional pubs all got theme pubbed.
Yeah, or they got taken over by a chain.
Yeah, and a lot of the what I would say estate pubs, as you would probably call it up north. I don't know, but like every community, you have like a shopping parade at a pub.
Yeah.
You know, but all of those type of pubs, especially in Basingstoke now, have all been converted to flats.
Yeah.
So you haven't got them community pubs anymore. It's all gone. If you want to go out drinking, you've got to go into the main town now. And
it's kind of the same around here. There's a few here and there that are we've got there's a couple of pubs within a couple of miles of me, which would be we're not. It's not really a village, but we're not a town.
Yeah.
But even them, they're like beef eaters, or they're part of a chain, or they've turned themselves into a restaurant pub.
Yeah.
They're not like a little tiny community pub. But if you go a few miles out to the more rural areas, then you get those little country pubs. They're really nice.
Yeah, they've all shut now because obviously no one was travelling out to them because drinking and driving, which rightly so, and the cost of getting a cab back from them places is
yeah.
So,
but the thing I used to like was that if you go to a restauranty type pub in the town or around here, it's just a chain pub with microwave food.
That's pretty much
But if you go a little way out into the country, where you get the old pubs that were big, but they were old country pubs, but they were big buildings.
Oh yeah.
A lot of them have become like restaurant pubs, but they're like nice restaurants because it's still not part of a chain.
Yeah.
It's not like a beef eater with its dried out microwaved peas and crap like that. So you can still spot them, and you get the odd little ones here and there where they're just little country pubs.
Normally the landlord's wife is the chef, and it's all proper homemade ma and pa kettle stuff, and that's the type of pub I like. You can just sit out there and shoot the breeze.
The kind of pub where you walk in and there's just a dog.
Yeah.
And nobody really knows whose dog it is. It just wanders around the pub bar. It just wanders around the bar and says hello to everybody. I like that. And there's one where we used to walk in, and there was this like black Labrador, and you go in, and this Labrador, and it was dead it just like come and say hello to everybody, because it loved everybody in the pub. And I said to the landlord, I said, "Whose is that dog? It's been here for like who?" And he went, "No idea. It just comes in when we open the pub. We don't actually know whose dog it is. It doesn't seem to belong to anyone. It just turns up, and people feed it." And he said it's just part of the furniture now.
Yeah.
We don't actually know whose dog it is. It probably lives around here somewhere. They probably wonder where it goes all day. Sweet.
Edward Leonard says, I have had a love with triple sours lately, 9.8% from Victory Brewing Co. And it's called Sour Monkey. Now that's a good beer name.
What's a triple sour? I don't know what that is.
Retro saying there was some rum or something that was so high proof it came with a flashback arrestor screen integrated into the bottleneck. Oh, really?
I don't know what any of that means. Oh, you mean like a burning, exploding type? I understand it. Yeah. I kind of thought it through. I thought the words through.
A lot of the rums we get in the UK are sort of 40% proof, but you can go higher. You know, you can get ones that are a bit, how can we say, homebrewed.
Higher, lower. Oh, my love, didn't he do well?
You know, the barman's special. It's like, explodes the hair off your chest.
A pint of the QT, please.
Yeah.
Gentle sounds of sanding from tonight's live stream. It's always a very satisfying
Absolutely.
Sound. When done subtly and gently. What are you sanding, my friend?
Exhaust, mate. I mean, sanding the really gnarly exhaust scene that you get on the Orc truck.
Oddly, I'm sanding the intakes.
Yeah.
So I'm doing one end, you're doing the other.
Absolutely. And none of this is permanently fixed. It's all sub-assemblies and detritus that I can then go round and work on and faff around with. And
How much was that truck?
Oh, I don't know, about 25 quid, something like that.
Because I'm just thinking that flatbed there, without the chassis.
Yeah.
Just, the flatbed that's in your hand.
Oh,
actual
right,
flatbed part. How useful is that to put on other things?
I know, it's brilliant, isn't it?
Just as a, if you'd bought the kit just for that lot to put on other.
Yeah.
See, that would do if you made your own gigantic squiggoth out of a dinosaur.
Yeah.
That would be a perfect. Howdah to go on the back.
Absolutely.
You need to get a plastic toy dinosaur off eBay for like $1.99 now, don't you?
I do, because I've got a 3D printer and I could print a Howdah, couldn't I?
Well, no, you could use one of them.
Yeah, but I'd have to go and wait. I'd go and have to waste one of these then, wouldn't I?
That's true.
But yeah, it's...
This is where I go onto eBay after a couple of beers and order you a load of plastic dinosaurs.
Yeah, but the thing is I would... You know me, cheap pound shop dinosaurs, and I would warhammer the shit out of them, you know?
Oh, absolutely. It'd be an open invite, that, wouldn't it?
Oh, of course it would, mate. It's not even a challenge, is it? It's like, yeah, I'll do that. Well, I've got all this shelf space now. We're not at the field with Warhammer goodness.
I think to be Orky, it'd either have to be a Stegosaurus to do the big squig thing, but I think you'd have to have I think that big Diplodocus thing was a brilliant idea. Whoever did that.
Yeah.
That was a masterstroke, that was.
Yeah.
Because that looked great.
I'll build you one.
No.
But it's funny, I was thinking of the AT-AT earlier on, and I'm
you're in the middle talking about that. Go on, carry on.
Holy shit, where am I going to put it? And I've now found a space where it'll stand, which will be in front of my server PC on the floor at the back of the man cave.
Is it an actual Kenner toy AT-AT or a model AT-AT?
What do you mean?
Is it a model like a Bandai, or is it the actual Kenner Star Wars toy that we had when we were kids?
No, it's the big Star Wars toy that you had as kids.
Yeah. Oh, wow, the big Palitoid.
Yeah, so as you can imagine, that is...
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Massive. I think I sent you some ideas, didn't I, of where all the orcs are going to be coming out, and there's going to be wooden structures, metal structures, and ropes, and squigs, and grots, and so...
I don't even know how you're going to even begin to film that. You'd have to take the legs off, I suppose, wouldn't you, to work on it?
Yeah, it's all in bits at the moment. I've disassembled it into components.
Who sent you that?
Carl over at Making Models sent me it. He
Bless
said,
him.
could you orc that? I said, of course I will. So
Is it for yours to keep, or are you sending
yeah,
it back?
it's to keep, yeah.
Dude, they're actually kind of worth a bit of money.
So, yeah, it's...
Wow.
one of those, you know, it was sat there collecting dust. He said, I'd be interested to see how you could hawk that. Yeah, no worries.
I did say to you once, didn't I, that you need to get a toy AT-AT to hawk up.
Yes.
Because even I had that thought.
Yeah. So it is... I think I'm going to go a little bit mad with it, he says.
No.
Yeah. There will be various dude sets bought for it. So this is where we can do this one Friday, perhaps just chat about things that can be added to it, and you know, what dude sets would work with it, and perhaps other little miniature bits that can be added to it. So yeah,
I mean, I don't know how much of the interior of that AT-AT you can actually see, but if you've got full access to the interior,
the whole side opens out, mate. You
could have like 4 floors in there with like hundreds of dudes in it.
Yeah, I was going to have like orc houses hanging off the side of it, and you know that.
Because I mean, to scale, it's the size of a building, so you could have like 100 dudes in there easy.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's.
Oh, you know what you could do?
What's that, mate?
If you're gonna divide the interior into floors.
Yeah.
Then would it be a very sensible thing to make those floors out of thin sheets of ferrous metal, so that you can put magnets in the feet of the dudes and they just into place?
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Like tin's not ferrous, but like a very thin sheet of Is steel ferromagnetic?
A very thin sheet. Have I got some? Yeah, I think I've still got some here.
Instead of using plastic or whatever, just use a metal, and then you can
yeah, I've got some metal plates left over from my days of welding. So
yeah, I don't know how you'd cut them, but I'm sure you would know how to do that.
Yeah, mate, I've got plasma cutters, angle grinders, and all sorts left over from me workshop days, mate.
Because I just suddenly thought that'd be, and then the thing is, if you build it so there's a cutting handle on the top, you can remove the legs easily. That could be a transport case.
Oh yeah,
for the figures.
there's got to be some kind of lighting or electricity or sound or whatever. But yeah, it's going to be one of those. Bearing in mind, I've got the Warlek to paint. It's going to be.
Oh God.
It's going to be one of them monumental projects, but. What do folks in the chat think? You know, is it one you would want me to build on a live stream or film? Well, I can probably do both. I could probably film bits and then edit it together for video episodes as well as stream it.
I think that's the kind of thing that would need a proper high quality video series, to be perfectly honest.
It really needs to be done. And yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to that. That's, yeah.
Yeah, I think that and the Warlek need to be proper full quality. Proper carefully filmed video things with nice voiceover, not live stream stuff, because they're a bit more special, I think.
It'll be interesting to do.
Yeah.
What I'll do is I'll dig it out and I'll get the head out for the next live stream we're in, and you'll be like, holy sugar. Yeah.
I always wanted an AT-AT when I was a kid, but I never got one.
Yeah.
I got what did I get? I got an ATST.
Yeah.
That was a bit rubbish. Even that was big, though.
So, but it was still rubbish. That's kind of where that's going to go. But again, you know, I shall get several boxes of dudes. I could probably add some of the dudes that I've been building that I've got to paint to it as well. Some will go on this. So I could probably save 10 boys and something else for the AT-AT. So.
Dude, you could build the entire factory inside the AT-AT. You could have a floor filled with orc trucks. I mean, you're going to be filling it with hundreds of orcs, I think. Let's just be honest here.
And I've got to think what I can call it as well. Because it's got to have a name. Can't call it the AT-AT, can I?
No.
Because, you know. So
it's got to have an orky name, hasn't it?
Yeah, so that's kind of another one that I'll be getting done. But already I'm thinking of, like, the legs would have like little spiral wooden stairs that the orcs run up and to get in there, and all kinds of grots hanging off them, and
I think for something that big, you might be worth eventually looking at some of the terrain sets that GW do, like the industrial like like landscape terrain pieces.
Yeah.
Like the pipes and the tubes and the columns and
Yeah,
things.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Some of the sector industrialis
Yeah.
pipes and tubes and.
Oh, yeah, because it's going to have some big pimped up exhaust systems and cobbled
fact-
together stuff.
In fact, I have the. What have I got? I've got the Imperial Knights Renegade set, which is a limited edition set that came out, and it's where you get 2 Imperial Knights and a bit of scenery.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I've got use for the scenery.
No worries,
It's a good 50, 60 quid worth of scenery. It's like a big,
it's
like a big platform thing with a walkway and tubes and spires where the knights
Yeah.
are supposed to go to get refueled. I can just send you those sprues if you want.
Absolutely. Retro's saying there's a handle inside the AT that you can puppet the head and a button to press that would move and
guns.
light up the blasters. Ooh.
Yeah, because it's got that little bit built in, isn't it?
Dan Kramer says Stomper's taken, maybe the Orc Squasher. Got to have something, and we've got to think of a name for it.
Yeah, because it could just be a double stomper.
Yeah.
It's we'll have to think on that.
Absolutely.
It'd have to be a suitably stupid orky name. Ret Rabbit says Da Big Masher.
Yeah. the
Candy
big
Graham says
basher.
Mega Stomper. Mega Stomper.
Yeah, it's got to be done, innit? So, yeah, that'll be one that'll be coming up. So,
Edward Ennis says, if you're interested, Colin, I have the Gargantuan Squigoth body that I'm really not interested in doing anything with. So if you're interested, let me know if you want it. I'll split the postage with you.
yeah, no worries, mate. Get a quote and I'll split it with you, Edward. I've got no problem doing that, mate. No problem at all, mate.
How about that Big Mega Masher Stomper? That's an equally stupid name, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
big
the Big
masher.
Mega Masher Stomper.
Yeah,
Although it's also a transporter.
absolutely.
Big masher transport. I don't know how we'd have to figure it out. Come up with a decent name.
Got to, haven't we? Because it's going to need it, and I think it'd be right up your street.
You'll need to think of some names and then say them out loud, and whichever one, then you think that's the one.
Yeah.
There's no point me trying to come up with a name because I can't say it the right way.
Yeah. It's the
Big Masher Mega Stomper Transporter.
It's the big mega basher stopper transporter thing, isn't it?
Transporter Track Gubbins.
Yeah.
Big leggy bastard.
Yeah. It's a kill dog.
Kill dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
Except they don't have dogs.
Nah.
Oh, damn it.
So yeah, I think that'll be a decent little
Yeah.
project to start thinking about.
That would need, though, a proper filmed, all the stops pulled out series, not just
Yeah.
a film it on live stream in the background thing, because that's something that really would attract the views.
Going to be
You
one
want to
off.
make sure
innit?
that's, yeah, you want to make sure that's not just filmed on a webcam when you're hanging out in the stream.
Yeah, it's
It's got to look special, that one.
yeah. I need to watch some more Warhammer painting expert videos.
You just need to crack on and do your own thing.
Yeah.
I think you should just let go of the arm rings.
Oh no! I know what
Dive in the pool and bite the bullet and see what happens. Not with maybe something with that, but
No, I know what you mean. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah,
you know what I mean by saying I just want to improve my painting before I paint it. You know what I mean by that.
yeah. Best way to do that is to paint the crap out of everything you can find.
I will do that, Edward, whilst I think of it, mate.
Rabbit says that big one we calls it Fluffy.
Yeah,
I can't do
Fluffy.
I can't do the voice, obviously. We calls it Fluffy.
There he is.
Right, I've got a seam line on the inside of this engine bell there. I can't get in there to clean it up, so it's time for plastic card.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, because I can't get in there to clean up the gap, you see. So why should I bother? It's got little strips on the inside of it anyway.
Yeah.
So I'll just add an extra strip that goes all the way to the edge. That'd be brilliant, that will. It will look fantastic.
That'll look mint, won't it? It'll look mint.
Candygram says, dogs no, but don't wargs exist in Warhammer? I don't know if wargs exist in 40k. They might do, but would a I don't think wargs are relevant to orcs, though, are they? They wouldn't know what God, I can't get my words out. A warg was. To me, a warg, this will sound stupid, but to me, a warg is the big dog in Slackworm that is Russian and makes vodka.
Oh, right, yeah.
And is like 20 foot tall. Living in Slackworm Castle, one of the characters is a winter warg called Victor, who's basically a giant white dog, 20 foot tall, that has a woolly, fluffy Ushanka hat, and he makes vodka and is friendly with everybody, unless they piss him off.
Yeah.
And he's very proud of his hat. And he says, I'm not a dog, I'm a winter warg.
Right, Edward, I've PM'd you, mate.
Slackworm is so good.
I've PM'd you my full address in case you need to add any of that into the calculator, mate.
Calculating
Calculating thing of goodness.
I'm the operator with my pocket calculator. Name that group.
Craftwork?
I'm the spot on, good girl. I'm the operator with my pocket calculator.
Oh, Helen will be so proud of me. I've got a craftwork question correct.
I know.
God, she'll be there going, God, he's grown up so quick.
Clearly my accent was perfect. I clearly do a very good impression of Florian Schneider.
She absolutely adores craftwork.
It's one of those things that I really like them, but I can't really listen to them for too long because they're not that interesting to listen to.
Yeah.
But I appreciate them.
Yeah.
I've got a few albums, but you really can't listen to them that much.
Yeah.
This one needs to go that way. And it needs to be that way.
Edward says, thanks, Colin. We'll check tomorrow. No worries, Edward. Not a problem, mate. But, yeah, I'll happily do that, mate. And then,
is that because he got a replacement or something?
I think so, yeah. So then I can create an Ed for it, and, yeah.
All it needs is a head and a tail, I think.
Hey, mate, I've got resin printer in. I'm sure I can come up with some.
You can easily make some stuff to go on the back of that.
And, of course, between you and Edward, being that you both have squiggles, you get to decide what I add to it.
All the things.
So there you go.
Do you know what made me giggle the other day?
What's that, mate?
And apologies if it's someone that's watching now, but somebody in the Boom Hut, and I think in your group as well, put a photograph of a model they're working on it, and it's like a Persian war elephant type thing. Like a biblical era kind of war elephant, Alexander the Great thing. It's basically an elephant kit, and it's got a howdah on the back.
Oh, right, yeah, that'll be James, model officer.
That's James, isn't it?
James
and
Skippins,
I couldn't believe it because it had pretty much exactly the same pose as the giant squiggoth, the left front foot just up in the air. Yeah. I'm like, that's like a real life squiggoth. Squiggoth.
Yeah, that'll be James Skiffins, aka the model officer. Yeah, I am 129's in. Morning, Colin Fox, and all in chat.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, sorry, mate.
I looked at that and I thought, that is exactly the same pose as the squiggoth. That's brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what's in my head now?
What's that?
Neon lights shimmering. It's a terrible song.
Right, so that's
Craftwork in my head now.
Yeah, you do realise you're not going to be able to sleep now because every time you roll over, you're going to hear that.
Either that or...
For me, the other night, I couldn't get to sleep because all I had was the bloody intro for Castle in my head. Yeah, I wonder who put that in my head. Yeah.
I like the bit where there's one episode where they were doing something and he was pretending it was a TV show, and every now and then he'd be like, fade to black.
Yeah. He's a tit. Yeah. So, yeah, I get to rekindle my love affair with Kira as soon as I've done Castle. And then it'll be SG1 then.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. SG1. For some reason, though, it sounds really weird to say it, but SG1 is one of those things that, like I said before, I watched DS9. I've watched it 3 times all the way through now. And each time I've left it for about a couple of years.
Yeah.
And it's been long enough that I've not remembered anything.
Yeah.
But with SG1, having only watched through it once, I can't watch through it again. Because I kind of think, oh, this is the episode where this happens, and this is the episode where that happens. And I can't forget for some reason. Yeah. And it kind of ruins it a bit. I'll have to leave it 10 years. I bought the DVD box set and started watching and thought, accept. I know this is the next episode now.
I kind of wish I'd done DS9 when it came out. My mum was an avid DS9 viewer. Wouldn't miss an episode when it was screening for the first time. She is one hell of a Trekkie, you know, so...
Good girl. I like your mum.
Yeah, she was proper into it, you know, and I kind of wish I'd gotten into it then, but I was otherwise engaged, starting a family and all of that. So I kind of,
Such nonsense.
didn't get to see it. But now I'm seeing it, I'm like, damn,
Damn, I missed out.
But I do like Angry Cisco. I think he's brilliant.
Oh, God, yeah.
Larry Cisco is brilliant.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, obviously, them nose wrinkles, mate.
Yeah, some of the best Trek writing ever is in DS9.
So season 3, Sire hasn't come up to Intendant Kira yet, then, has he?
I can't remember what series she first appears in.
Yeah.
What season she first appears in.
Yeah. He'll know it when he does. He'll be there going, Cole, what, mate? I now know what you mean. Yeah. How many times did you search that episode back, Si? For research purposes?
Many, Mahoney. Yeah.
Yeah, my missus come down one night. She said, have you already watched this episode? I said, there's something wrong with this.
May have done.
Something wrong with this TiVo box, love. It's not remembering where I got to the previous night, so I'm having to start over again. Oh, she said, must be something in the settings. And I'm like, yeah, it must be. She went, yeah, it's probably that tart in the Black Cat. So I said, she's not a tart, that's Kira. Don't you go dissing Kira.
Don't you diss Kira. Even Fox will have a go at you.
Yeah, don't you go dissing her. Look at them wrinkles on the nose. She said, I've got wrinkles. I said, yeah, not Kira wrinkles. Not as cute as Kira's.
Oh, God. If you want to make her really angry, get her like a Bajoran prosthetic nose set for Christmas. Oh, that'd be hilarious to her. I got you this love for Christmas, you'll love it.
Oh, yeah, she'll beat the shit out of me, Fox. You know she will.
I can hear the Marge Simpson from here.
God, you know her so well.
I can just hear her go.
Yeah.
Right, here's a cunning thing. I know you can't see it, really, but there's a seam line there.
Yeah.
Down on this engine bell, you know, because you've made one of these.
Yeah, I've made one of them, yeah.
I really can't be bothered filling that in. So instead I've made 4 very thin strips of plastic.
Oh,
which will
good.
Now it's got these little veins that go all the way from the bottom to the top anyway. So my thinking is, I've not made them the same length because that'll be a nightmare to try and get them tall. So I'll make them a little bit longer, but a little bit thinner. So they'll look like an extra vein on the engine.
Oh, you're good.
Vein as in V-A-N-E, not vein as in blood vein.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
And it'll just cover up most of that dirty great big seam.
I am impressed, mate.
I'm just doing it off camera now, but hopefully.
See, folks, this is why he's a guru, you know.
Anyone who's known me for more than a few years knows that I am the King Weasel.
Oh, you take laziness to a whole new level in building.
Yeah, I am King of the Weasels. If there is a way for me to weasel out of something, I will find it and I will make an art out of it.
What I admire about that is we all joke about it. We all joke with you about being like that. But when you do it, you actually make it look like it's supposed to be there. And it's like, damn.
Well, the thing is, one of the reasons I do what I do is because the way I do models is because I'm lazy. I'm a lazy slacker and I can't be bothered doing all the complicated stuff. But the one thing I quickly realised is that puts me in a good position to teach people who don't know how to do the complicated stuff.
Yes.
And who are just starting out. Because what better way to teach someone how to get great results than how to easily get great results lazily? Because what I say is me being lazy for a beginner is a handy, quick, easy, simple introductory way to do it.
Absolutely.
So I'm doing it a lazy way because I know I could do better if I tried.
Yeah.
I just can't be bothered. But for someone who's never done any of it, I'm giving them a simple way to do a complex thing.
Jeff's saying there's a connection with Kraftwerk and the Bee Gees. Does anyone know what it is? Is it Barry Gibb wrote some of their music? Or did he guest on one of their tracks?
Music?
Yeah. What else is there?
There you go. Have a look at that.
Iron Man says, morning, Colin Fox, and all in chat. Oh, look at that. That's come up well. Yeah, I see what you mean, mate.
Looks terrible now, but when you put primer on it...
Yeah, once it's primed and it all comes together...
No one will ever know the truth.
Edward says, yeah, a head and a towel. I'm just lazy to deal with it. I was going to do that and sell it, but can't be bothered, and I don't want it collecting dust when I know you'll do something with it. Many thanks, Edward. We'll sort something out, mate. And, yeah, anything you want me to add to it, I'll add to it. And, yeah, look forward to doing it, mate. Hopefully I can do it the same justice as you've done yours, mate.
You do realise...
Yes.
This means you'll now have a gigantic gargantuan squigoth.
Yeah, but, mate, I'm not scared because I've got the shelf space now, haven't I?
Yeah.
God, yeah.
You're not having to spend a year saving up for it.
Yeah.
Thanks to that very big kindness. You've now got that. You've got to make your own head and tail, but that's not a problem.
Does that mean to say we're going to, oh my God, we're going to be doing grot tanks and squigoths? Oh dear.
Well, yours will be a more involved process because you've got to come up with a head and a tail.
Yeah.
I've just got to glue mine together.
Yeah, but I can get some really sort of bizarre head and tail pose going, can't I? Because it'll become a unique squigoth then, because it'll be a one of a kind, won't it?
True. There probably are 3D files for squigoth heads that aren't exactly the same as the one from the real one, but, you know, that fit perfectly. You probably find them.
Yeah.
I'm sure you will do. There you go. That's both of those nozzles.
Oh, you're
now
good.
With handy dandy.
Yeah.
Greebling to hide my lack of being asked taking the mould line out.
I like your thinking.
I'll have to file the mould line there on the edge, on the lip of the thing where it is, but that's fine. I can do that.
Yeah.
That's a flat surface. That's not a problem. But this is what I do. Is like I know I'm lazy and I can't be bothered doing the big boy techniques.
Yeah.
So I try and find a way to make something that looks as good as the big boy technique without doing the big boy work.
Yeah. Improvise, adapt, and overcome, mate.
Yeah. But then that's the perfect way to teach someone how to get into doing the big boy stuff without teaching them how. You know, if I can show somebody how to paint something that looks like they've done a professional job without doing a professional job, then hello. If I was just being lazy and doing a half-assed job, it'd be different. But
absolutely,
I'm not doing that.
Mate, at the end of the day, if it works, it's worth doing, isn't it?
Yeah, I like to do things as easily as possible and then share it, because that's the thing. With a lot of people trying to learn how to paint models and stuff. A lot of the barrier to entry is they think it's complicated, and sometimes it is complicated because the techniques are quite hard. So if I can find a simple way to do something and share that, then that's my job done. Then I feel good. I'm trying to lower the cost of entry for people if I can do it.
Yeah.
I found it by just being lazy, so.
That's the way to do it.
All right, that's the way to do it. Now, see, in my head, all I've got is the robot voices from the 1990, from the 2000 version of Radioactivity by Kraftwerk.
Oh right, yeah.
Harrisburg, Hiroshima. It's like a robot voice. Sellafield.
He's good, isn't he?
What is it? Harrisburg. Sellafield. There's one more, I can't think of it. Something. Hiroshima. When they did a concert in Japan in 2013, I think it was.
Yeah.
because it basically the song starts with this robot voice over a drum beat listing the names of four nuclear disasters: so Harrisburg, Sellafield, Chernobyl, and then Hiroshima at the end. And it does it in this really creepy, like terrifying robot voice. When they did a concert in 2013 in Japan, they changed it.
I suppose they would have to,
Well, no, what they did was it went through it before the song starts. It did the drum beat. And it says, Harrisburg, Chernobyl, Sellafield, Hiroshima. And then it does it again. It says Harrisburg, Sellafield, Chernobyl, Fukushima. And the audience went absolutely wild. Because they'd never done it before.
No, it's nice that they paid homage.
Because every time it said it put it up on this massive screen. And then when it just suddenly said Fukushima, and it was the audience went absolutely. And I was watching it on a video, and it sent a cold shiver down my spine. I can tell you that.
I can imagine.
Because the voice is quite ominous, and it's like a computer-generated voice. All the H's all drawn out. Harrisburg. I can't really do it, but you know what I mean. Hiroshima. And the thing is, if you listen to the original Radioactivity, which is on an old 1970, I think, 6 album by Kraftwerk that I've got on cassette, it's terrible. They recorded it on it sounds like they recorded it on like a Radio Shack tape deck.
Oh, really?
And they had nothing but a Mellotron and an electric piano.
And
a really crap microphone. And that whole album, Radioactivity, is awful. It really is awful. But yeah, the modern version of Radioactivity is quite simple, but quite powerful.
Oh, they were certainly ahead of their time.
Oh, absolutely. Minimalist Bauhaus style. It was like Bauhaus style music.
Bauhaus, there you go.
I don't mean Bauhaus like. I mean Bauhaus like the brutalistic art style, not Bauhaus like the band. They were like Bauhaus style music. I suppose is the best way to describe the Kraftwerk. But if anybody gets a chance, just go and look up the Kraftwerk Radioactivity Japan 20, whenever it was, live.
He goes in there.
On the 2020 album they did, or it might have been 1990. It was either 2000 or 1990. They redid a lot of their songs, and they redid Autobahn.
Oh right, and
it was actually worse than the original.
Oh really? Is that possible?
Well, the original was kind of had a character to it, but they remixed it in 2000, just kind of flat and lifeless. A66.
That takes some doing, doesn't it, to do a remake of something to make it worse than the original?
Well, the original was all like, analog synthesizers and mellotrons and stuff, and electric pianos and Moogs and things. The new one was just all careful synthesizers, a bit flat. They'd progressed in their technology by then. Fox, the sprues have letters on them. A65. Brilliant. Well, which is sprue A? Let's consult the leg end.
It's going to have a large letter A in there, isn't it? You just know this.
Well, the thing is, they don't. That's the funny thing. I don't think all of them do. This is sprue not noted. It's an exhaust pipe, so I should be able to recognise it. This is sprue also not noted anywhere. Oh, good God. A66, A65. Come on, Fox. You know exactly what. There they go. Except that's not them. That's the wrong ones.
I'm so glad I'm not the only person that has a go at
There we go. Oh, well, no, actually, I take it back. Sprue A is marked as sprue A. Unfortunately, none of the other sprues are marked with a letter. So
that's just Murphy's Law, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's good if you know that one's sprue A and the other three, well, you're on your own with them. Do. There's real Morse code in Radioactivity too. Leave it to Kraftwerk to make Morse musical. Oh yeah. Where we're up to. The instrument, well, one of them used for Pocket Calculator, was a cheesy Bee Gees rhythm machine toy made by Mattel in 1978. They sell for a fortune now.
Oh wow.
Yep. I'm the operator with my pocket calculator. Beep, boop, blub, blub, blub. The final episode of DS9 was awful, says Rabbit. No, it was all right. You were just sad because of what happens with Cisco. Sadness.
I don't know yet. I haven't got there.
That's why I'm not saying anything.
That's right.
Yeah,
I'll forget.
Don't spoil things for Colin. He's not got there yet.
I'll forget.
No grots were harmed in the making of this squigoth, says Edward Leonard. Rabbit says,
I do love the hose pipe coming out of his arse for the grot, powered by grot farts. I thought that
for the
was
super cannon.
brilliant. I thought that was so cool.
Oh, God, yeah. Rabbit says, I really don't have a lot of green paints. Guess I need to go shopping next week.
Good
you
man.
always need to go shopping. When it comes to modelling, you always need to go shopping. Make sure it happens.
Yeah, you need all the paints.
Wrong nippers. Nippers, napper, noppers. 65. I'm cutting a piece off the sprue just based on the fact it looks about the right piece, not by what actual number it is. There we go, 65 and 66. That is the right piece. Yes.
I like your thinking.
I mean, you've got to marvel at Kraftwerk's lyrics sometimes.
Oh, bloody hell, yeah.
Like,
I mean,
radioactivity, it's in the air for you and me. Radioactivity discovered by Madame Curie. It's like, yeah, you couldn't do that.
no.
Well, the famous lyrics to Trans Europe Express, which are Trans Europe Express.
Yeah.
Trans Europe Express. Didn't like that. That was not very. There was not much to that. Never a big fan of that one.
Yeah, but it's one of those, isn't it? You know, the lyrics worked at the time.
Yes. Autobahn's still a firm favourite. When I was first exposed to synthesizers,
Yeah.
when a friend of mine his brother had a few analog synths, and I'd never really even seen a synthesizer at that point, but I'd started to listen to electronic music.
Yeah.
And his brother had a few electronic synths, and I was allowed to go and twiddle on them, you know, fart about with them when his brother wasn't there. His brother didn't know. He said,
Yeah.
God, you can play on. And it was like one of the first things I learned to play on a synthesizer, because I don't read and write music. I just do stuff from memory, so I hear something and try and recreate it. And one of the first memories I have of playing on a synthesizer was using two of his brother's synths. They were old analog vintage synths. This was in the late 80s, so they would have been 70s synths.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were. Probably a Moog, maybe a Roland, a Juno perhaps. I don't know. They were really basic. But I remember one of them, because I was sort of, I got to play on them like a few times.
Yeah.
A few hours over the course of a few weeks, just when his brother wasn't in, secretly. And I sort of was teaching myself what all the different buttons and sliders and things do. And I managed to make a nice bass sound on one and a kind of a sine wavy sound. And I was basically trying to play the bit in Autobahn where there's like a flute that kicks in.
Yeah.
And there's a simple bass line and a flute, and the synthesized sounds of cars going past. do, 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 and there's this flute go, and I was just doing that, and I was teaching, and I'd never even played a keyboard at that point. So I was teaching myself to do two different things with my hands. That's the first memory I have of playing. Hello, Mama Fox.
Hello.
Hello, Mama Fox.
No, bless her.
Mama Fox sent a love, by the way, earlier on.
Oh, bless her.
I forgot to say that. She said, hello, interwebs, by the way, so
I
that's
heard
Mama
that.
Fox.
Bless her.
Yeah, Mama Fox sending her love to all you out there in Viewerland. As she goes back to sleep. She got up for a wee, bless her.
Absolutely. Legend she is.
I've got Autobahn in my head now. I've not listened to it in years.
Yeah, that's going to be your earworm now.
Nah. I can't. I must stop singing it because I'll stop pinging the copyright. It's the kind of stuff like, you know, if you go and listen to the old Kraftwerk now, you wouldn't get away with it now if you did it.
No.
Because it's so basic and bare bones, you wouldn't even get away with it nowadays. But back at the time. I mean, it was still basic and bare bones a little bit in those days, but the style of music was new in the 70s and 80s.
That's the thing. It hadn't been done before.
Yeah,
It had that originality, didn't it? That
Yeah,
is
'cause there was-
sadly lacking now.
Yeah, because I mean, you have to go back and you have to remember there was no dance music in those days. You know, all your music was either pop or rock, and that was it.
Yeah.
Bit of punk, you know, bit of punk here and there. Was pop, rock, punk. There was no electronic music. I mean, there were synthesizers, but they were used in conjunction with, like for pop and rock. There was a few prog rock bands and stuff, and a few electronic artists, but not many. So things like there was no such thing as dance music.
No.
Or club music or anything like that, or electronica. There was a few artists starting to tread the waters like Vangelis and that Japanese guy Kitaro, was it? Kitaro, I think. I've never really heard
Yeah, I
much of
think
his
I know
stuff.
the guy, yeah.
I think he was 70s, if not 80s. That were just starting to appear, and they had their roots, you know, like Vangelis had his roots in a rock and roll band.
Yeah.
He was a keyboard player, and, you know, they all started from places like that, and then it was that kind of era when you just started to see the Kraftwerks and the Vangelises, and then, you know, Jar turned up, and that whole electronic music.
It'd take off, didn't it?
It was where it was born, that whole electronica sort of style. If it's not pop, it's not rock, it's not there for lyrics. It's just. I mean, there was obviously electronic music, and good electronic music, because like Wendy Carlos had been around for 10 years by that point doing a bark on Moogs, but they were synths were like just instruments to be used. They weren't. Electronica wasn't a thing of its own at that point, so it was kind of new and sparkly. But it's hard to listen to now. I mean, if you go back and try and listen to the original album Radioactivity, it's hard work.
Yeah, yeah.
Even just for the background noise or the hiss on it, it's just terrible.
Yeah.
Are you standing up?
Yeah, I am, mate.
Good girl. Oh, hello. Little bit of burpularity there.
Yeah, I stood up, had a bit of juice, mate.
Blech. I knew, because I could hear the juice drinking occurring.
Absolutely, mate. See, I do as I'm told. Not often, but I try to.
Alright. Fahren auf der Autobahn. Fahren auf der Autobahn.
There's not an awful lot to the alt truck, is there? So it does need.
No.
It does need additional bods in there. So I think some of the boys I've got will go in there. Actually, I might get new boys for that.
Yeah.
Additional dudage to go in there.
It's the kind of thing that if I was building it, I'd get like 8 weeks out of that build because I'm just rubbish. I bet you've built it and taken it apart 4 times already by now, haven't you?
Yeah, it's only in sub-assemblies. That's the thing. It's like the guy that's driving it. Although he looks like he's permanently fixed, he's not. The arms are glued to his body and the chair's rested in, but I'll be able to take him out as a complete assembly and paint him separate.
You're permanently fixed.
I know I am, mate. I've been trying to see the doctor about getting some kind of resolution to it, but
Get them exhausts!
oh yeah.
Part of me doesn't want to fill that in, but part of me says fill the thing in. Oh, mighty exhaust tubes.
It is the exhausts that make it, isn't it? It's just
Yeah, why you wouldn't have these big exhausts and then you have the big ones coming off the dirty, great big intake or the supercharger.
Yeah.
And then,
And a lot of people have the little namby-pamby ones, and it's like, bollocks, put the big, chonky, great big pipularities on there.
Yeah, it's like, why would you get a Dodge Charger and put a 1 litre Ford Fiesta engine in it? You wouldn't. You'd put all the engines in it, all of them.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got a car in Cyberpunk right now that's a bit like a Dodge Charger.
Oh, have you changed cars again?
Oh, you just get them as like mission rewards and stuff. You end up with a whole stash of cars. And the thing is, right, I was playing the game, as you do, and I happened across this car that looked a bit like a Dodge Charger, the Quadra Type 66, I think it is.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that looks mint. And it was like bright yellow, but it had black hood, and black bumblebee stripes
Oh, nice.
down the rear wings, and I'm like, oh, that's just sexy. So I stole it.
Yeah.
Because of course I did, and I was driving it around. It's like, I'm like, oh, it sounds hard. It's a hard car. And literally, I'd done that and been driving it for 2 minutes, and one of the fixers texted me and said, "Hey, thanks for doing that last job. I've left you a reward in your garage.
Yeah.
You can have it." And I got there, and it was the same. It was that car.
Yeah.
So I was like, brilliant. Now it's permanently in my collection. Unfortunately, the one he gave me was like butt green. It was like that kind of green.
Oh, no.
And it had like a black bumblebee strap that you can't really see. And I'm like, oh.
Oh, yeah,
And
that
it
one's
didn't have a
staying
black-
in the garage then, is it?
Well, the thing is, when you steal a car, as soon as you leave it and walk away from it, it just disappears.
Yeah.
So I still drive it, but I wish you could change the colour of your car in the game. I really do. You can't.
Yeah,
but-
you would have thought you could just go to the spray shop and have it repainted, wouldn't you?
Well, they were supposed to have lots of car customization in the game, but that just never happened because they ran out of time and money. But it's a shame because I'd love to. It's a meaty looking bastard of a car. It's a great looking car, Quadra Type
it's
66.
just Austin Allegro green.
Yeah, and it's like green but with a slight sparkle to it. It's
Yeah.
like ooh, no. It's like ooh, I don't know. It's like unicorn. It's not good.
It looks the same colour as a Morris Marina estate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not right. If I could make it like lime green or bright yellow with a black hood.
Yeah.
But funnily enough, it's really nice to drive, but it's still a bit fishtaily. But the nicest car to drive in the whole game so far, I know there's like a supercar that's like a Bugatti Veyron. It's the fastest car you can get, and it sticks to the road like a leech.
Yeah.
That doesn't really interest me because I've driven one and the view out the window is terrible. But the car that's the nicest to drive when you're driving around the city is actually the kind of boring suburban station wagon.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's just literally, it's like, two front seats, a bench seat at the back, and then a long storage area. It's just a boring station wagon. It would be wood panelled if it was like 1970s. But it's kind of nice to drive. It's got the best visibility out of the windscreen. And it's just fine for driving around the town. There's one big like gang car you can drive around that you get, and it's like, it'd be great apart from the dashboard. If you had a car, imagine the dashboard comes up above your eyebrows.
Yeah.
You really can't see anything. It's like, who designed these cars? Jesus.
Yeah.
Half of them you can't see above the dash. It's like, is my character like 2.5 foot tall?
Yeah, got to be some kind of speciality chud to drive that then.
Yeah. Because it's like one of the first cars you get. It's like, I literally can't see the road in front of me for about 200 yards. Ew. So, yeah.
Obviously, someone who's never driven wrote the code for that.
Yeah. The funny thing is, like I'm doing my Skyrim and stuff, and I'm playing that slowly. One of the first things I did, well, I forgot about it, but when it actually happened, I stuck with it, was after a good 30 or 40 hours in the game, I got over encumbered because I was carrying loads of stuff, and I forgot to sell loads of stuff. And I got over encumbered, and suddenly I couldn't run.
Oh, right, yeah.
I could only walk at normal human walking speed, and I'm like, I quite like this.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those games where you push forward on the stick and you're kind of jogging.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And then if you click the stick to run, and I'm like, well, I'm running. If I'm walking through an interior building like an office, and I'm running around like a madman, I much prefer to walk.
Yeah,
so
you want to have a good old looky-loo, didn't you?
Yeah, there's not that much to see, but it's just, for some reason, I like to be able to restrict my speed to walking. So basically, I just carry so many guns that I'm over encumbered. I just pick up all these guns off bad guys and then keep them in my inventory.
Yeah.
Just at the limit of the inventory, so I'm over encumbered and I don't run.
Good tactic.
Yeah, and it can be like, take this thing you've just stolen to the deposit point 100 meters away, and I'll just walk for like 10 minutes, listening to the traffic go past and the light and stuff. It's quite fun. I don't know. It's all jolly good fun. It does change things if you do walking speed rather than running around like a mad fool.
Oh, yeah.
Just makes it more interesting. It makes combat more risky because you can't run away from combat.
EC Idaho says he still listens to Oxygen and Equinox frequently.
Yeah, Equinox, yeah, good stuff, man. I've not listened to Jar for a long time. I did listen to Oxygen again a little while ago, and it's certainly there. it's lost its magic for me a long way down the line as I learned to, program synthesizers and how sounds are made and how to record and stuff. So it lost a little bit of the magic after a while because I realised, how it had been made and how all the sounds are done and some of the things that sound fantastic when in ignorance.
So it kind of lost its mystique almost.
Yeah, a little bit, like little bits, like when you listen to it the first time, you think, oh, that sounds brilliant. But when you know it's just a simple sound in the left channel with a delay to put it in the right channel, and it fades in and out, it's like, okay, it's not that simple. It's not that complicated.
Yeah.
Once you reproduce it yourself, that's one of the things about if you learn to program synths. I mean, properly like program synths, especially vintage ones. A lot of the mystique of old vintage electronica does kind of fade away because I can listen to something now and I can think, I know exactly how I'd program that sound.
Oh, right, yeah.
If I know roughly what synth it's on, then I'll be like, I know how I program that.
So do you regret selling all your synths?
I do, sometimes. I mean, in a way I do, because sometimes I get the urge to do more music and I haven't got anything to do it on.
Yeah.
But by the other hand, if I hadn't sold all my synths, this workbench wouldn't be here because this was where my recording setup was. My multi-tracks and my mixers and my synthesizers. And
so you wouldn't be able to replicate that with PC software then, no?
I probably could, but it's not cheap. And until I mean, I've tried it I looked into it a few times over the years, but every time I looked into it, the software wasn't there yet to be able to do recording and listening at the same time.
Yeah.
To literally, to listen to all the tracks I've recorded and record a track at the same time. It just, for some reason, wasn't something you could do very easily. And the software was hundreds of pounds, so...
Yeah, ain't fucking cheap, mate, is it? You know what I mean?
And the thing is that the reason I sold all my stuff was because I wanted to start doing this anyway. Because I got the urge, but I'd kind of lost the creative muse. My composing got more and more stilted, and it's like anything creative I found as I've got older. You lose the exuberance of youth.
Yeah, you lose that spark, and something just doesn't. You lose something.
Yeah, it's like I was more happy to take risks and just fart about and try things out when I was younger.
Yeah,
I'd just do all kinds of crazy shit, and I'd throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. But I got to a point where I'd be like, well, I could do this or I could do that, but if I don't do that and that doesn't work, and it got to that point where I was bogging myself down in thinking. And it's a bit like you with your bodging that you do and your custom building.
Yeah,
that's the exuberance of youth that I used to have.
Yeah,
and since lost, because now I question myself and my decisions and think, if I do that, but what if I do that, and can I do this? And it just stops.
Yeah, this is why I've got this, or taken to the York stuff, is it lets me come out with some of this creative madness in my head, and it don't look out of place. Does that make sense? No. If I was doing a shiny car or a MotoGP bike, I'm kind of limited to what creativity I can bring to it. Whereas
it allows you to do what your instincts want to do.
Something like this, I can come up with weird shit like crow's nest sails, rope bridges, and it kind of doesn't look out of place.
It's just playtime, isn't it?
For me, it is, yeah, because
it's just silly playtime.
My inner child is come back.
Yeah. But I mean, that's with the music, the big thing that killed it for me, and I've said this before anyway, but the big thing that killed it for me was I grew up listening to electronica, and that got me into getting my first synthesizer and learning how to program it, and then teaching myself how to actually make pieces of music by listening to other people and figuring out how to do multi-tracking. And I went up the stages through a simple 4-track to an 8-track and then a hard track and all kinds of things.
Jeff's put a link in for you, mate. He said there's a free synthesizer software named Bespoke, and it's absolutely amazing. And he's put a link in for you. It's completely free.
Cool. Jeff, would you do me a favour? I can't remember if you're in the Boom Hut or not. If you are, can you put a link in the Boom Hut for me?
I'm going to copy it and PM it to you.
Oh, you're a star. That's just as good then. Thank you. I'll have a look at that. The difficulty at the minute is how you would record anything. It's the software for recording, because I don't want to spend any money on the recording software because, like I said, I lost the creative spark. And it was like I bought a keyboard controller and then had it for 4 years and didn't even turn it on. It was the last thing I bought. But the tricky thing at the moment is recording, because Audacity I can record a track and then listen to that track whilst recording the next track, but they lose sync for some reason. So I'll have to look into it.
Yeah, I'll PM'd you the link for that.
Oh, you're a star, thank you.
Well, I'm going to be calling it in about 10 minutes, mate.
Okay. Yeah, I've just finished gluing my exhaust on.
Yeah, if that's all right, mate.
Edward says, you should stream it once, Fox, and see how it goes. What are we talking about? You arse. What? I've been waiting, but you're a turd and need a push. Don't worry about the quality. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, what's that? What are you on about there, mate?
To what are you referring, young man?
Might be a bit of synth music. I don't know.
If you had a Mac, we have GarageBand.
Oh, yeah, I've got GarageBand.
GarageBand. Yeah, it's just I started off listening to electronica and studying it and I'd take it apart, and that's why I appreciated that the early electronica and stuff like Jar and Kraftwerk was simple, because it allowed me to listen in and try and break down all the different tracks.
Yeah.
And then as they got more complicated, of course, I could adapt my listening to start to understand. Yeah, I could copy the simple stuff and figure out how they made the sounds, and as their synthesizers got more complex, I could evolve my programming and to make those sounds. And I could, if I listen to a piece of Jar, I can separate out all the different sounds and tracks and know how he's recorded them, what kind of sounds they are. Sometimes I can tell what instrument he's used. It's kind of weird.
Well, this is it. You've probably, like you say, got that musical ear, haven't you, where you can pick at it, and you know exactly how he's done this, that, and the other. So, yeah.
Well, the thing that crippled me was, though, that over the years, I faded away from that and I started listening to, like, movie soundtracks. Like orchestral stuff.
Yeah.
And then I started on this big bend to try and do orchestral sounding music on synthesizers using, like, samples and stuff, which you can do nowadays probably quite easily, but back in the early mid-90s you couldn't, and it crippled me because I got stuck in that rut. And when I tried to go back to the electronica, I just couldn't.
Yeah, because you wanted to progress into that genre and you didn't have the tools or the resource to do it.
Yeah, and I was like, I have all these great ideas, but then trying to get back into simple electronica, I was like, I've lost the.
Because you're a bit like me. If you feel that you're being chained into a category, you try to escape that, don't you?
A little bit.
You like to try to expand and broaden your horizons, and don't like being pigeonholed almost.
And the other thing was, it was like when I was doing electronica, I was quite happy with the simplicity of it. Bass line, arpeggio, lead, pad, rhythm, twinkly noises, little arpeggiated bits.
Yeah.
When I started doing, like, trying to replicate orchestral stuff and getting into more complicated structures, every time I tried to do dance or electronic music after that, I'd be like, this is too simple. I can't just do an arpeggio and a bass and a lead. But it's like, I could, but my brain was like, no, you need, like, all these other. I'm like, it's kind of, I shot myself in the foot. So.
EC Idaho says he thinks he's getting Cyberpunk for Father's Day.
Oh, jolly good. What are you getting it on? Are you on PC or console? Or I used to play the RPG. The video game is based on back 1,000 years ago in the 90s. Yeah. I'm enjoying it. It's a mile wide and inch deep, but it is fun. I would say, though, if you're going to play it, what I'm doing is I did the first few missions up to the heist. I've done the heist. You'll know there's a mission called the heist. And then I've just stopped doing all the scripted missions, and I've just gone off and done all the side quests and gigs and everything else.
Yeah, EC says it's Xbox One.
Oh, jolly good. Jolly good. You will enjoy it. It's fine. Like I said, I did the heist, and after the heist, I'm just doing all the side quests and gigs and pootling about.
Yeah, I must admit, once I've got everything sorted out in here, I will start doing a bit of gaming. Might as well. Got the bloody rig for it.
Cyberpunk lol game, says Edward. Oh, about me streaming it. Yeah, I was talking about that with Simon earlier on, but in the minute I am really just crippled by the YouTube's crappy encoding for streams of 1080p. It just looks like pixelated garbage.
Yeah.
And it really is just putting me off doing any game streams because they just look like absolute ass. I can't stream in 1440p because my broadband isn't fast enough. So
we won't get into broadband speeds, will we, mate?
Yeah, you can just shut up with your big numbers, you big numbered heathen.
You really are picking on me, aren't you?
You and your dirty great big numbers, you big.
Actually, saying that, I suppose I better run a speed test, being that the engineers have been.
You can just shut up. You can just shut up. You watch it. You do a speed test, it'll make it fall over now.
If it does, it does.
That's how I play Skyrim, says eachother, and never kick off the main quest till near bored with playing.
Absolutely.
Well, with Cyberpunk, it's worth getting to the point of the heist and paying off. This will make sense when you play it. Paying off the Ripper Doc Victor and getting to the heist and doing that, because that means you then set up. You've got a few mods from Victor Vector, who's your Ripper Doc, the one that gives you some implants.
Yeah.
And you can then go off into the world and start upgrading your character and stuff like that. It's worth doing them.
Yeah.
And that's when you start opening things like fixers and stuff to give you jobs and side jobs. Who cares? Try it. I'll let you know one time. Ass. He's called me all the bad names today.
He's on one tonight, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's also
bless him.
60 frames a second though, and that causes problems with my PC.
Yeah, because you're running on a motherboard graphics card, ain't you?
Yeah, so I wouldn't stream it at 60 FPS, but it's taking a 60 FPS feed and having to convert it down to 30 FPS, and that makes it a bit shouty in the fan department sometimes. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, I might give it a try. Let's have a look at your truck then. I'll put your full screen.
Yeah, it's getting there again. It's in its sub-assemblies.
It's got a kind of British World War II crappy truck look to it, hasn't it?
Yeah, I've got the wheels and that built. So, yeah, it's sub-assembly stage, really. You know, all of that with a bit of jiggery pokery will come off. The geezer will come out. The engine drops out. So I can paint away, do all the detail work quite happily.
It's quite nice how it's it's kind of a simple kit, but it looks sort of fussy and detailed. It's got lots of
Yeah,
things
it
going
really
on.
is a simple
It's really
build.
busy.
There's not a lot to it, but there's a lot of good panels there that you can weather and rust and chip and faff around with. So
Faff. It's just nice and busy and greebly and fussy, and it's got lots of things going on. That's
yeah,
why I like the Orc stuff.
dare I say it, there might be some bits that I add to it yet.
Oh, yeah, well, of course there will.
You know.
Surprising us. But it's like if you bought like the Imperial Guards Taurox Prime as like an armoured personnel carrier. It's
Yeah.
a box with silly tracks. That's
Yeah.
it. Whereas that's got all kinds of chassis and details and
Well, this is
beavers
it.
and
You know,
tubes.
that's what I like about the stuff is you could add your own pipes, you could add your own roll cages, you can just expand it, and why not? I've got a greeble box full up with bits and bobs that can be added to it, and I can resin print whatever I want as well. So, so yeah, it's an interesting little fun weekend build.
All right.
But yeah, so
Not
I
bad
shall...
for 20 odd quid.
Yeah, you can't argue with it, could you? I mean, that was the same price as what I paid for a Sentinel. And there's a lot more to this than there is the Sentinel, as you know. They're tiny little things.
Yeah, and if you think about that, I mean, you see it on the box art, it's basically just all silver with a black body paintwork. But the thing is, you could get so much painting out of that if you didn't just make it all dead simple colours.
Yeah. You know, the box standard box art is a bit, well, good man, is a bit bland and a bit boring.
Yeah. But if you went a bit more than just one colour body shell and
Yeah.
just one... You don't have to just paint the chassis silver.
Exactly. You know, you've got some options there. So already in my brain, I'm thinking of doing something similar, but then just adding a bit more yellow in a few more places and just alkifying it. But you know, there's room there for barbed wire and bits and bobs, gunnage and other things.
See, I'd be looking at that and thinking, what I could do is I could get a load of Gene Steel occultists.
Yeah.
The guys with the backpacks, and stick a load of like Tempestus Silence helmets on them.
Yeah.
And make them look like bandits from Borderlands, because that's a real Borderlands-like truck.
Well, yeah,
And
it's just
paint it in the Borderlands style.
it's just got potential. You know, and that's the thing with it, you know, is it can be painted in whatever style you want, isn't it? It doesn't have to be exactly the same as that. Like you say, it can be done in Borderlands, do what you like with it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with me, is getting it built, getting it primed, and then letting it talk to me.
Yeah.
Telling me what it wants to be, and that's it. I'll just go off and add bits to it until it is what it's telling me it wants to be, mate.
Yeah. It will speak to you.
Yeah, that's what works for me. In the world of Festa. Yeah.
That's what makes me laugh with all the box art for Orc stuff, though, is it's all supposed to be junk and scrap, yet they don't do any real weathering apart from scrapes and a bit of dust. They never really... There's so much you could do with the Orc stuff to make it look rusty and weathered and dirty.
You look at the box art and you can see, like there, dirty great seams right down the middle still. And you're like...
But
why?
they really don't go to all the trouble of doing any real weathering on them. It's like... Such a missed opportunity on their box art. If you look at the Forge World stuff, they go to town on those.
I mean, that's had a bit of dry brushing, probably a bit of dust on the tyres.
A little bit of chipping from a sponge. There's no real great rust or dirt or...
No. It's quite a clean weathered.
Yeah.
Lightly weathered almost, isn't it? It's... Yeah. Well, I suppose that's, what they're trying to do, is let people say, well, that's... what you can start with, and you can take it to whatever level you want.
I don't know why they don't just do a proper weathering job on it.
Time, probably, mate. Who knows?
Oh no, they have weeks.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's
yeah, they have weeks to paint them. So,
but imagine giving that to someone like Sight. It'd probably take him 2 years to paint that.
Yeah.
But my God, would it look good?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, I know for someone like the character things, they have like... I was reading somewhere that they're like... For someone like the Gazgul Thraka figure, the painting guy and the painting team that did that took him like 2 weeks to paint it.
Yeah.
For the box art.
Edward says, looks good as long as it's yellow, like all my Orc stuff. Yeah, like the Orc stuff on my shelf here. Yeah. Shelf number one.
You may have noticed a theme.
Yeah, it's beginning there.
That's a right land train going on there.
Isn't it? Yes.
It looks really small, though, just because it's far away in the angle of the camera, but it looks really small.
Yeah.
Until you get close.
Yeah, so yeah, it's getting there. Like I say, the other shelves and that will start getting the Warhammer stuff put in them. I've got to unpack in the same blade, that'll be fun.
Oh dear. Ido says, Colin, look up 1990s Honda car colours and use similar colours all through the vehicle, but randomly use all or most of the colours plus rust effects.
Oh, there you go. I'll have a look.
Yeah, like they're all made of different panels and things.
Yeah.
That's what I'll be doing on the Stomper, I think.
Yeah, different clan panels. Yeah.
Yeah, like mostly the right colours, but there'll be a few different colour panels here and there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can't just have it all one colour because it'll be like...
No.
Yeah.
Edward Leonard says, I'm really not a dick, at least in my opinion.
I see what he did. Yeah, Edward Leonard also says Cyberpunk Saturday coming soon. Yeah, you never know.
The other thing I've got to be conscious of is when I can fit streaming.
Yeah.
Because of Mama Fox. So, I mean, it might be I do them late night because...
Yeah, that's all I'm going to be doing on mine is probably do them sort of overnight.
Yeah, I mean, the difficulty I've got is if I do it any time Mama Fox's sleeping cycle is wake up at 2, get up for 2, half 2.
Yeah.
So when she's up, of course, I have to keep her in brews and things like that. So I can't do a stream where I'm leaving every hour to go make Mama Fox a brew.
That's it. Obviously, we got a lot of nights where people are streaming in the UK, so we try not to clash as best as we can, but...
I just do my streams when I need to do them.
Yeah.
I'm running a business, so it works around my schedule. But I don't really want to do everything at 3 a.m. It's not ideal, but yeah. If it's like me and you doing this kind of thing, it's not so bad because if I have to go away and do something, then if there's somebody else there.
Yeah, that's right.
Like this kind of thing, we'll have my Sunday. It's not a problem. But if I'm just streaming by myself, say playing a game, and then halfway through I've got to go and sort Mama Fox out going to bed. It's
but I could be really cruel and just sit there and mock you mercilessly whilst you're trying to play the game.
Yeah. It's not that exciting, unfortunately.
I know. Tell me about it. Anyway, I suppose we should wind down for the night and let everyone get off. It's 10 to 4.
Yeah, almost 4 o'clock.
So...
I've made a Flash Gordon spaceship.
I'm going to put your full screen so you can show off your wares.
That's all I've done so far. It looks like an old vintage Flash Gordon 1930s It needs sparks coming out the back, and then that kind of like electrical conductor.
Yeah,
Do you remember the old black and white cereal?
Absolutely, but it's got them really hunky exhausts on it though.
Yeah, look at that. With the little bits of plastic card in there to make them
kit bashing.
cover up
I'm
the
impressed,
gaps.
mate.
Yeah.
I am impressed.
Do it that way around. It looks kind of cool.
Yeah, I am impressed.
Yeah. If you covered up those gaps there and didn't make it like you could make it into something else completely. Put that at the back and that the front.
Oh yeah.
Say it's a completely different scale, like it's hundreds of feet long or something. Make it into some big battle cruiser.
Well, I've got plans for my one that don't involve it being any flying object.
Oh, I didn't know about this then.
Yeah.
Because I know we discussed something a few times ago.
Yeah, because obviously I'm going to be stealing the wings from it for the one I've already got built.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's going to be... the saw will be coming out.
Oh, lovely.
So, yeah, it's going to be slightly different. Just need to play with a couple of ideas and see what I can come up with.
I'm going to guess it will still need the bloke with the Russ Abbott flying scarf.
Yes.
Okay, I think I know what you're going to do with it. I think I've got an idea.
Mm. So you know me better than I know myself, mate.
Yeah. Or at least I know what it'll be is whatever I tell you it'll be when I tell you in a minute. You'll be like, oh yeah, that'll do. No,
Yeah,
what was that laugh then? Jesus.
it involves some wheels as well. So.
Yeah, exactly. I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I know what you're doing.
I
know what
Edward
you're doing.
says also you and Colin can stream it together. What? I've got to get Cyberpunk as well.
There's no co-op.
Mm.
Anyway, I need to sit and co-stream with you when you play Skyrim.
Exactly. Which will be happening, folks. It will be happening. It will get sorted out as soon as I can get to the point. I'm happy with this room. I will cobble it together, do some artwork, and start doing some Skyrim streaming. Why
So
not?
you and I could. No, I was going to say we could co-op Borderlands, but you're on PC, not Xbox. So
Was that a subtle hint, Festa? You got to buy an Xbox.
no, don't be daft. Don't be daft. But also, you need to get good at actually first person running around before that point.
Yeah, you are talking to the bloke that is never physically used an Xbox controller.
Yeah, I can
know.
imagine the first Skyrim stream is going to be me telling you what buttons to press.
Yeah, it's going to be witchcraft and tomfoolery.
How do I do that then? What?
Yeah, you're having a bloody laugh. Yeah, what? Really? Hey, what? I'm dead. How's that work out? Yeah. So with that in mind, folks, we're going to love and leave you.
Yep.
Big, massive thanks to all of you that have kept us two idiots company. It's always nice to see you all in. We're back Sunday, are we, for a Warhammer Sunday, mate?
Yep, as far as I know, absolutely.
Yeah, me and Dave.
Or
yeah,
I don't know. We might play some. But I know I can't do a stream with a game and other people on it. It's probably kill my PC completely.
bless you.
Also trying to stream. Yeah, I can't. No, I can't co-op stream a game. No, I couldn't do that.
Yeah,
my computer wouldn't cope with running like 5 different things.
Yeah, it would be pretty chonking, mate.
Well, I'd have to run streaming software, StreamYard, the Microsoft Xbox PC app.
Yeah, plus my feed as well. It's like,
Yeah. Well, you just be in StreamYard, but it break everything. So
yeah.
Maybe not.
So, and me and Dave will see you for the Sunday brunch at 12:30 on Sunday. So we look forward to seeing you then.
Absolutely.
So it's a good night from me. Again, if you want to support the channel, remember, folks, you just go on patreon.com/Festa67's workshop, or you can click the join button below. All the links for this are in the description of the video. See what I did there? Yeah, so you can do that, and that will give you access to the Zoom off-air 24/7 hangout. You can also, despite him pleading with me not to, you can go and support my mate, the Guru, over on patreon.com/modelmakingguru. And
Two things.
Yeah.
Two things. I might do some streaming tomorrow night, but stay tuned.
Yeah.
Don't know yet, but there might be possibly a late night stream tomorrow on my channel, so stay tuned. Me and Colin, maybe. And one thing I've just thought, Colin, given your plan of what you were saying a minute ago,
Yes.
I think that looks better.
Yeah, it's got a look to it.
That's the top. That's the bottom. Fill that in.
Yeah.
That's the top. Make a cockpit. I know what you're planning.
Yeah.
And it would look better with that front there, like that way, rather than that way.
Yeah, because when you turn it upside down, do you know what that looks like? It looks like the front.
Batmobile. Looks
like the front of the Thrust SSC as well.
Yeah, and it looks like the middle bit of the 1989 Batmobile.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you kind of know what I'm going to be planning for it.
Yeah. But I'm just thinking, turn it upside down.
Yeah.
Put your cockpit there. Where the
does that mean I have to get the saw out?
If you tell you what, you could, that hole there you've got for the cockpit.
Yeah.
Fill all that in and just make a dirty great big hole here. Get rid of this nonsense.
Yeah.
Keep all these plates. Get rid of this cross plate here because it looks all these knobs sticking out. Keep these plates here because they look mint. Because you could still have like an anti glare strip.
Yeah.
I know what you're planning.
Yeah.
We'll leave it there anyway.
Yeah. So
you
like that idea then?
You've got to decide these things for yourself.
Absolutely.
But I think that way looks better with the angle that way.
Yeah.
On the front.
Yeah. Sloping nose. Yeah.
But yeah, I can't have a
and
tailplane
also
there,
it shows a bit more of an exposed engine as well, which
oh yeah.
It's never a bad thing, is it?
Also, it puts the exhaust underneath, and you'd have to build some kind of tailplane in there. But
yeah, that's not difficult because I've got a spare one from the previous.
Or you could have a tailplane on booms that's not even attached to that, like two booms coming out, and then have a. I'm going to leave it to your imagination. I'm going to stop. I'll be here all night. I sound like Bernie.
Bless you.
The 1%. Has to put the tailplanes on the booms.
Folks,
where's the soup?
We'll love and leave you, and we'll catch up with you on Sunday for the next one.
That was a terrible Bernie Sanders. I do apologise.
Bye for
Where's
now.
the soup? Bye. Like and subscribe.